Let's repeat all of that. Verbatim.
Pre-pod. What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 149. I'm your host, Anthony Trapani. I'm very proud of us. We actually started this shit on time. But what also sucks about this is the pre-pod things that happened before this. We usually end up getting into a conversation that should have been on the show. And we were already vibing hard. Kelly and I, by the way, Kelly Shaefer from Atheist Until the Dirt with us tonight. What up?
What's up, Metal Planet?
Yes, sir. We got a part 2, actually, 80-something episodes later? Weren't you episode? I think it was episode 60. I should have.
Yeah, you guys are busy, man. You guys are busy.
Yeah, dude. We still only have taken like 2 weeks off per year since we did it. By the way, 3-year anniversary.
There's a lot of shit. Congratulations. There's a lot of shit happening post COVID. You know, everything's really amping up.
Yeah.
To old time status. You know, where things are. You know, so many bands. So you guys have a lot of things to cover. So many new albums and.
Dude, totally. And I got my side note. I just went out to a show this last weekend in Roseville. Saw Cryptopsy.
Great fucking band. Holy shit.
Fucking Abysmal.
Flo Monier. Shout out to Flo.
Yeah. Flo.
I love it.
Flo was the first. Well, actually, it's funny. I saw Alex walking down the street while I was pulling up, and then I ran into Flo, and then I went to the brewery and saw all the other dudes. Gabe Sieber was there. It was just like, oh, dude, full charge, like awesome positivity and love immediately as soon as I showed up. And
Flo was the first guy that I ever asked to be an atheist when I was getting ready to go back, and when I decided I want to go back out and tour and put a new band together. Can't remember the year it was, but I was like, hey man, what are you doing? He was like, dude, he'd already committed to the Morbid Angel, the shit, I forget what it's called, the David and the shit.
What? I Am Morbid or no?
Yeah, I Am Morbid. Sorry. Yeah. I think initially he was the drummer or one of those bands that he plays in with David. He'd already committed, but.
Oh, wow.
But we'd been friends since we played together in Canada, and he's a fucking great drummer. There's only a handful of people. I just thought it'd be kind of cool. And initially I was gonna like try to pull in like an all-star cast, when I was like wanting to go back out. But yeah, I love Cryptopsy, man. So
totally, dude. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, that band is the fucking Canadian bee's knees, dude. They literally every single one of those guys. Full 100% professional, fully 100% on their performance, dude. I'm gonna say right now, Matt is such a fucking sick front man. Flo is literally better than he's ever been. I'll say about the whole package of that tour. If you guys have not, if it's coming to your town, please get out there and see it, because I was so impressed. From even the local opener, I forget what their name was, but then into Warforged, every single band Warforged. I mean, I bought 2 T-shirts of Warforged that night, dude, to support. Obviously, because they got some Lynch references on them too. Lost Highway, what up? But also, it was
nerd.
Yeah, finally.
Totally,
I know, right?
I'll take that all fucking night. Dude.
I've been waiting for that.
But in reality, I had never seen Warforged live. They had been on, members of the band have been on our show twice. Joel and I have been on Jason's podcast, and to see that in person. It was just as strong as Cryptopsy. Everybody had their own, contribution to the night. Every band was different and unique in their own way, and I really.
The way a show should be, actually. I mean, too many times it's 4 of the same kind of bands, and it's just too much, man. You got to have dynamics in a show, in a song, in a movie. Always got to be dynamics, highs and lows everywhere. That's how the earth works: day, night, hot, cold.
It's constant
Fucking,
fluctuation.
everything,
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
everything has to be polarizing. And we were talking earlier about reviews of Till the Dirt, and I was like, yeah, some people fucking hate it, some people love it. I like that, I love that, but everything should be polarizing. I mean,
Right.
otherwise it's not moving. It's not moving air. So.
oh, I got a comment.
Shout
real
out to
quick.
Cryptopsy.
Fuck yeah, that rules. Hey Kelly, so like I don't know if you remember, but I was chilling in San Diego, and my friend David opened the show at Brick by Brick for you and Cynic, and it was like an electronic crazy like opening act,
Yeah.
and Paul
Warbreaker,
wanted,
shout out.
yeah, Warbreaker, yeah, and Paul wanted some, like Paul, he's friends
I'll
with
set that
David.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And he wanted something completely just left field, like totally different, but still like,
Paul had half of the dates, and we had the other half of the dates to choose the openers.
yeah.
And
Okay, nice.
and of course, Paul pulled in all kinds of,
Fringe
he's
stuff
Paul.
in there,
I mean, that's
yeah,
what he does.
for
He
sure.
was like,
100%, yeah.
he literally threw an idea, and he's like, dude, I would like to have a comedian open for us. And I was like,
That'd be sick. That'd be funny though. I'd like
That'd be
that.
oh my
great.
God,
Didn't Nirvana used to do that or something?
It's
Didn't
not
Bob
unheard of in the rock
Goldthwait-
community. Like,
Bobcat Goldthwait go tour with like Nirvana?
Jim Brewer opened for Metallica. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's definitely not, it's not out of, but I mean, being that we're, I don't know, man. It's just funny. I was like, I don't know, Paul. I said, I think we'd go with music. You pick some strange avant-garde. He wanted like DJs and acoustic acts and stuff like that. And you know what? It worked, man. The beauty of that whole tour was just, man. If you were in the room for any of those shows, you knew you had to be prepared for a lot of different styles, man. I mean,
Anthony. I know Anthony's going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up right now.
The show we saw over in Santa Cruz was a guy in a hammock eating pizza, and like just like music playing in the background.
So can I say something about Santa Cruz, man? That I can't tell you. Like, if I could show you under my skin, that's where that show is in my world. And like,
Oh man.
I had some good friends over there. It's just one of those shows, man, that just did not work out.
I'm
And,
sorry, dude. That vet hall was the worst.
man, it felt like we were playing it felt like we were playing like a VFW or a school auditorium, or it just, man, and it was so lit.
Echoey.
There were so many lights. It was lit up like we were doing surgery, and and it just pulled me out of my game, dude. I mean, it's like I fucked up that night, and I apologize to everybody in Santa Cruz who I fucking loved playing that time. That was a beautiful part of California that I've never played, and there was a guy there that I met, came to our bus, and he owned a pot company, and I can't remember his name right now offhand, but he brought us like 15 different kinds of his weed, like jars.
Oh, yeah.
And we were 2 days from going to Canada, so we had to. So I was like, I'm not fucking partying with this weed. We have to figure out a way. So I got with the bus driver, and we went to a truck stop, and we were going to play Vancouver and then Seattle after Santa Cruz.
Oh.
And so I think that was the routing. And so I asked him, I was like, can we drop this weed off and bury it in Seattle, and then go to fucking Canada, and then come back and pick it up in Seattle? And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's fucking amazing.
And then it's like you got to make a map and all that shit.
No.
Yeah.
He was like an old school truck driver. He knew exactly what to do, and he.
No, I meant like,
I got an
like,
idea.
you got your own pirates map, dude.
You just use an
Little
Apple
treasure map.
AirTag and put it like in a bag.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Oh yeah. I didn't
But
think of
we
that.
were able to get it all back. But yeah, somebody.
All
And
of the-
I was just literally. I was waiting. The band was sound checking. A lot of times I don't sound check, and the guys will do it for me. And so I just don't like sound checking. It's I'm either fucking in a fight or I'm not in a fight. I can't like pretend to be in a
you
fight.
can't shadow box and act like you're doing the right thing.
Well, just I mean, if somebody wants me to check a microphone the way I check it or the way I'm singing live, it's just it's like, hey, punch me. And it's like, okay, well, beat up my entire family in front of me and then watch how hard I punch you. You know what I mean? It's like I punch harder when I'm on stage. So, anyway,
totally.
bless my band is so amazing. Those guys are fucking killer, and you all have always checked my mic, and everything's always cool and perfect. But so I was sitting outside, and that guy comes and he's like, hey man, and so he's like, can I bring you a gift? And at that time I thought, maybe he'll bring a joint or something. But not only did he bring all that pot, but he brought Italian food for everybody. Like
Nice.
really good
Yeah.
Italian food. Yeah, he must have spent $500. I mean, or more. Like, and so I don't know. I don't know how we got into that conversation. Oh, Santa Cruz. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm there
I
right now.
loved every single part of it except for our time that we played, because I just feel like it wasn't the show that the rest of the tour.
That wasn't your venue, dude. I
Should
mean,
have been at the Catalyst. or
I was
some
gonna
shit.
say
know.
Catalyst would have given you guys exactly what you wanted
what the hell?
from Santa Cruz, and
Next time, Santa Cruz, come out.
yeah,
And
I know
I
that.
have actually a story
that
about
date
the
was added later, and it was.
I have a story. It was
added last
actually
minute.
kind of actually my personal fault, because Joel Hasten, my good friend, was like threw an offer out at you guys, or at the because I was like, dude, it'd be sick. I was gonna just be like, I'm down. I'll pay fucking Atheist and like fucking Cynic to come play my house for like $3,000, $4,000 or something. I was like, so they can get some gas money, because you guys were doing a big drive. So I was like, we're going from like LA, like up past California, like north. And I was like, dude, just come chill and fucking barbecue and let's fucking jam. And Joel was like, you know what? He's all, should I do it? Should I get it? And I was like, and he was like talking like money stuff with me, and I'm like, I don't know about Santa Cruz, man. I really don't. I don't know if it'll pull, like, because Santa Cruz is such a weird spot, like San Francisco, Oakland, all that stuff that would like sell out.
Yeah, we had a great show in San Fran with
I was there with, we were there.
Yeah, and I was there. I was gonna get into that, Kelly, later on tonight too.
Yeah. But so basically what happened was
I think, pound for pound, even though it was very well lit and all that, hopefully you could at least see the new band. I mean, those are 3 new guys that I in 6 months had to pull together, because I lost the last time we talked. I had a different lineup. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly when we talked last, but it had to at least be a year ago, right?
Right.
It was over a year ago.
Yeah.
And so I had my last lineup. A couple of those guys bailed on me like literally 48 hours before a European tour, and it just was one of the most catastrophic moments of my career, because I just couldn't fucking believe that somebody would cancel 2 days, but when all this money's paid, buses paid for, it was fucking horrible. And we were headlining, and so it fucked all the opening bands. And my apologies to all those, Abysmal Dawn, all those, Summoner Circle, all the bands that were, that had to take time off work, explain to their girlfriends how they were going to go on tour and make no money. All the ins and outs of each individual person from each of those bands. I fucking feel that pain, and I had to take it on the chin, because I really didn't want to air it out in the social media as it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's like, "Oh, what a dick!" To cancel European tour, like, So my wife was like, "You got to stay off social media for a couple of weeks," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But it wasn't my fault, man. I would never.
Your wife was smart with that.
I would never do that. So anyway, I had to quickly. Well, it was hard. I didn't, and I was told my management. I was like, I don't know how the fuck do I put together an entirely new Atheist band. I felt exhausted just talking about it, because it's one thing for people to learn that material, but then when I get in a room with them, there's so many things that people can't hear in that music. That I have to show. It's actually this. It sounds like that, but it's this, and you have to go through each of these songs, and each song has like 5 songs in it. So Atheist stuff is like, there's just so many things, and there's so many little nuances that, even the best musicians may listen and think, oh, I can play that, but I mean, I think you can hear the Obscura cover of Piece of Time. Obscura is one of the most talented bands of our era right now, and props to them. Really incredible band. But when you listen to their version of Piece of Time, it's like, and the reason why is because they're too perfect. Like you got to be a little fucked up to play Atheist. You got to, you can't play to a click track. You can't
grit it out. There's no gritting any of that out.
Yeah.
So while the cover, it's cool, and I'm honored that they did the cover and everything. But I'm just using it as a point. It's different, and they did an incredible job. It's just that there's a difference between feeling and having a song sort of changing time. As the song is going, it's breathing. And just like in a live setting. But these days everybody's playing to a click. And so music is just like tick, 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 tick. And we hear 4 bands in a row that are playing like that. It's like that can get pretty fucking exhausting, So
I think it's a linguistic thing too, dude. Like it gets to a certain point where you can't translate it through, words or numbers. It's kind of just like a different kind of language that is being spoken in there too, that you can't tell some dude this is how it goes, you know. It's a feel. Yeah, you were just saying a feel thing. You kind of just like naturally feel
someone that knows the language but doesn't know the dialect.
What's that?
Someone that knows the language but doesn't have the dialect down. Like if it's a certain part of a different country, that could be like an analogy. Sure. Where like, yeah, like, I get it, but like there's other parts to it that are kind of like,
yeah. And when you connect the dots on those things, and I think each of the guys in the band would agree. I think you just had Alex on the show recently, right?
Yeah.
So Alex is like this super smart,
so smart,
so good,
studious player, like just fucking really precise, and and so it's almost like I have to, because in Jerry Watunsky, our other guitar player, is fucking brilliant. You know, you almost have to kind of like dumb him down a little bit. It's like, no, not that perfect. You know, it's got to be just a little off. You know, and but man, he was so receptive to it, and it was so refreshing to see, you know, such an incredible young talent like him and Jerry. Go, okay, I get it, old guy. Let me back it up into this fucking feeling it out world, and just, man, I can't say enough about that band. You know, I mean, they are playing the shit out of stuff like Elements, and you know, I mean, they're playing like Water, the song Water.
Oh yeah,
like those songs to me always felt like, you know, we never really played them in our set over the years when Steve was in the band. You know, Steve had a real hard time with the Elements material. Because it was done by Josh Greenbaum, who was a jazz kid, and it was just a different feel. You know, Steve Flynn is fucking tremendous, sick, one of a kind drummer.
One of a kind for sure.
Just so good. I can't even overstate it enough. But this kid Josh that played on Elements was just different, just so different than
also, you know, unique. Yeah,
really, really about you know, being solid and so, you know, Dylan Marks came in as our drummer, you know, and so that's a tough, you know, it's a tall order to first of all try to emulate Steve Flynn's stuff, and then you throw in the Element stuff. But I never really felt like that stuff was played. It just didn't really move the crowd the way it did on this most recent tour. So I don't know if that was just because it was a Cynic and Atheist thing, and like me and Paul were talking about on another podcast, like it was nice to play in a room full of people that knew what they were signed up for, so to speak. You know, they knew we're here to see fucking tech, jazzy fucking metal, whereas Cynic and Atheist have always, almost 99% of the time, played on bills where we had that hope that somebody would be like, all right, you know, because it's full of blast beats and fucking and
Totally.
you know, everybody wants, you know, they want to know, and we're just two bands that are very unpredictable, and so, you know, if you put one of us on a, like, you know, we each had to open for Cannibal Corpse in our career, and man, Cannibal Corpse people, they want it like they want it. You know, you can't fancy up their hamburger, man. They want their fucking hamburger the way they want it, and they'll be trying to come out with your fancy fucking bullshit metal like they didn't like either one of us. And
at the time that you guys were doing that too, that was before the, you know, vast expansion and
no, that was at a time where people were like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Like, what do you call this music? And and that's where, you know, like brain metal and tech metal and all that shit kind of came from, because people were like,
brain metal.
So
brain
check
metal.
me out. So I've been thinking about
that was a sticker on the album. Yeah, that was just on the sticker of the album. Yeah, it says Florida's original brain metal. And it probably came from an interview or something. I'm sure I said it at some point, but because I was frustrated with. Back then, it was very, you know, it was all about gore and blood and guts and shock, and
you guys were getting cerebral with it.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, they were like, what the fuck? And then Cynic came along after us, and I was like, yeah, they get it. You know, they understand. Like, they're writing about different shit. They're vibing in these different moods, and so it was just hard for. It's just ironic that
I have this theory, and it's probably you could probably attest to this. So what tripped me out was that when you guys announced the tour of you guys going out together, and it was the first time you guys had ever gone on tour together. Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that blew my mind. But then remembering how both you guys in your interviews on this show previously have talked about being the outcast and how hard it was for you guys to fit in on pretty much all the tours that you guys did. Of course, you guys wouldn't take the chance of putting both of those outcast energies together on one bill, because you guys probably felt like nobody would have shown up, you know?
Well, maybe back in the day, sure. I mean, nobody would have bought that tour, you know, but on this time around, you know, it was both of our 30th anniversaries, our 30th for Elements, theirs for Focus. And, you know, and Paul came to the show that we did with Suffocation in LA like the year before that or something like that. And at that point, man, he couldn't imagine himself on stage again. He was just like, I don't know how, you know, I mean, you lose two really important band members.
Yeah.
Like how do you go out and do that, especially, you know, in a short period of time? And I was like, man, and we really, you know, me and Paul have been close for a lot of years. So I was like, listen, you know, 8 weeks after watching my best friend fucking die in the middle of the road, Roger Patterson, you know, we went in and did Unquestionable Presence. Imagine if we didn't do that. You know, imagine if we would have been like, oh, man, I was like, so Paul, you got to do this, dude. I said, you got to go out and give, you know, people love your music more than ever now. And to see it played live, I feel like would be amazing. And so that's how it came about. And then if he called me about 6 months later and said, hey man, let's do it. And I was like, fuck me. So we called our managers and they got together and they booked the tour and off we went. So it really happened that way. And it was just beautiful and easy and effortless and fun. And it was two sides of the technical coin that allowed you to come and, you know, whoever, depending on who the opening band was, you're definitely going to see a very wide variety of musical styles in one night, but the common denominator was metal, you know? So
right. I like to say, man, it was kind of, I got the honor of like Paul last year, like hanging out one night. He's like, hey man, what do you think about a Cynic Atheist tour? Like, what do you think about that or whatever? Like, you know, and I was just like, what do I think about it? Like, what are you talking? Like, I was like,
waiting for it to happen my whole life.
Let's do this shit. Like, you know, so yeah, it's
and that just it gives me the feels to know that now we're in a time where two of my all-time favorite bands from arguably the mecca of death metal, they were finally the environment was accepting enough to where, you know, fringe prog death metal bands that were
man, they were getting it, you know. I mean, they were getting it because there's moments in Cynic songs that are just like going to a jazz show, where it's like where it just breaks away into a bass solo. And at a jazz show, people will fucking, you know, they'll clap at the end of the solo.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that happens at a Cynic show. You know, and we were coming out before that with this different technical approach, this fucking manic, you know, so it was like this bipolar metal evening. Right. You know what I mean? It was like this, and then fucking, everything's okay. You know, and Cynic would pull you back in and be like, you know, and so I can't think of any other bill that was really like that. You know, I mean, like,
and then when you guys trade off, it'd be like Cynics be like, okay, I'm gonna prepare you for what the manic.
No, we always
bipolar shit. Oh,
we always play
trade off.
No, we always play first. Or not first, but I mean, we played right before Cynic. Always. I personally don't like headlining. Like, I don't like playing last.
Same. Yeah. That sucks.
I love playing.
I'm on your side too, dude.
It's the best time is, like, you know, if it's a 4-band bill, third is fucking beautiful. Everybody's feeling great. Everybody's not tired.
Once you're off stage, the energy is still there for you.
No one's looking at their watch. You know, shows get pushed back all the time, and you know, if you're playing direct support, then you're always going to be in the good zone. You know what I mean? And so Paul probably watched us and be like, "You fucker." No, I loved it. We did it with Cattle, and it was amazing. You know, the Cattle was kind enough to bring us out on tour, and that was one of the best tours. Where, you know, that was a lot of fun. That was with a different lineup, but really, you know, a really, really good lineup as well. The last lineup that I had, the guys that bailed out were incredible. You know, I just feel so fortunate that I found a band that's even better. I mean, I told my manager, I was like, how am I gonna fucking top those guys? You know what I mean? They were killing it. And then, man, I searched high and low. And, you know, our drummer was in San Diego, Dylan Marks, and then I found Alex with, you know, he had been doing Desiderium and Archaic, and when I saw his videos on YouTube, I mean, and Jerry Watunsky is a kid that I've seen on YouTube for, you know, since he was like 14 years old. I mean, just kind of like grooming him.
Wow,
right? To fucking play in this band. I asked him on two occasions, like once when he was 17, once when he was 19, to be in the band. He was like, "Oh man, I still live with my mom, and you know, so I'm not ready yet, you know." And so this time around, he was like 25 or 24, and I was like, "You fucking ready?" And he's like, "I'm ready."
Yeah.
And man, was he ever ready! I mean, that kid's a fucking rock star, man. Like,
dude,
well, I gotta say real quick,
my neck right there, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? I gotta say real quick, dude. So I saw you with Suffocation come through at Brick by Brick, actually, and that's the night I got COVID the first time. It's kind of funny, but it doesn't matter. The
Not
point
my
is
fault.
that no, it's definitely not your fault. Yeah. So, anyways, who cares? The point is that happened, and then like fucking, I saw you guys again, and like that night, I was honestly most stoked to see Atheist that night, because I was just like, dude, I've never seen Atheist. It was like, to me, I was
the Suffo Atheist show.
I think Surreption played. I think that was the same.
Yeah,
dude. And I was just like, oh my god, like so basically that was like completely insane. And then you guys killed it. It was great.
You.
Yeah. Then, but when I saw you, I watched your sound check, you know, back, you know, because David was, I was helping him with the stuff, and we saw your sound check, we saw Cynic's sound check, and we like hung out and stuff. And did you guys play? And I talked to Dylan for a while, because he's from Oceanside, I guess.
Love him so much.
Yeah, dude. But dude, honestly, like I was just like, how is this band like even better? Like, to me, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Dude. You guys,
know why? There was a different personal dynamic. Also, you know, not so it's like, you know, they Jerry, for instance, the level of precision was like really it was unique, because like Jerry Watunsky is like this old soul of he's the youngest in the band. He's just a kid. He couldn't be fucking sweeter, and he just is perfect in every way. But he has this old school like mentality, and Alex is like this modern, new school kid. You know what I mean? And but they got along so well together, like, and that's hard to do. It's hard to find 5 people that want to be married to each other that have similar, you know. And Dylan,
it is a marriage too.
Dylan is also like this jolly, super funny, charismatic, amazing fucking guy to hang out with. Like, you want to hang out with each one of these guys. You want to hang out with them. And I found myself just like inspired by them. I would stand on stage, and like Dylan Marks plays Atheist songs like John Bonham would play them. Like, it's like he's such a big kid, you know.
Dude,
when he hits the snare, he fucking hits the snare. I could feel it on stage, and that fills my gas tank. You know what I mean? Like, and then Jerry, as a guitar player, just, you know, what a lot of people don't understand musically is Atheist had 2 left-handed guitar players, myself and Rand. Rand played upside down. So
I remember watching the garage days,
the garage videos.
Yeah, so when you play upside down and you write music, and his solos have this vibrato that any guitar player will understand what I'm talking about. Like, this vibrato, he's able to pull down instead of pushing up. Yeah. Instead of pushing up like you do as a normal guitar player, he's able to, and you have so much more leverage that way. So the vibrato is really hard to emulate for people that don't play left-handed. So anyway, long story short, Jerry fucking killed all this vibrato playing it right-handed. You know what I mean? And just, you know, it's just, you know, those albums are so old that those productions are dated and passe in a way. You know what I mean? It's still tolerable to listen to, but when you hear it in a 21st century live killer full range PA system with modern guitar tones and played precisely
with that same energy, yes.
Yeah, Atheist, those songs fucking grew into something else. And I
think that's what made that's what made my reaction the same way as Casey's, you know, because I mean, I've been watching Suffocation for 20 years, you know, as many times that I've been able to see Suffo in the last 2 decades.
So good.
And it's great every time, bro. That is a show
That's another band too. You know, they were also a part of that. You know, that early very compressed, you know, era of production.
Well, speaking of which, I mean, dude, let's all be real. Like, I mean, I literally heard of Atheist from the Effigy photo shoot with Mike Smith and the Atheist shoot.
The t-shirt.
Hell yeah.
Because I was like in high school, I was like in the 90s, like, you know, like, oh shit, like fucking
shout out to Mike, by the way, man. We're still in contact all the time, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cheers to Mike.
Yeah, all the Suffo guys, actually, man. Frank Mullen.
And no doubt
we love, that's our favorite band. Like
my whole point, my whole point was at that night at the DNA Lounge in Frisco. I had seen Suffo so many times that I was so ready for Atheist, you know, and I'm so familiar with your full catalog that, you know, I was just showing up ready to go, you know, and when that happens, sometimes you could fall short, you know, with something like that. And I want to say, not just because you're a guest on our show tonight and all this kind of shit, I gotta lick your taint for real. That shit was like I was at church, bro. I literally was at church and the spirit was going through my body, dude.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
And it's so funny that I'm saying I was at church while watching a band called Atheist, but
no, that's why I love it, man.
You know, the funniest thing, I mean, you talk about different vibes of different like shows, like you talk about the Cynic Atheist vibe versus the Suffo Atheist vibe. I was at the same show Anthony's talking about with Suffo and Atheist. I was in San Francisco. We were both at the DNA Lounge.
Yeah.
And I was completely like blown away on how brutal the fucking pit was for you guys. It was like one of the most violent pits I've ever seen. And it was for Atheists, and my brain was just going like, wait a minute, this is like the cool avant-garde jazz band. It's like, and people were getting like so crazy in the pit. And I was like, this is like the most bizarre, awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. And then like, you know, going to see you two.
It's aggressive, man. I mean, like, I don't, you know, it's funny. I think sometimes people hear about bands and they think, oh, you know, because a lot of people think of Atheists and they think, oh, they must be very serious and, you know, they must be lab coats and fucking equations, and that's how people always thought about it.
Brain metal.
Would always just come out with a Van Halen attitude to be as aggressive as possible and to be, you know, like a show's not a show without participation. And so I demand it as a front man. I demand you fucking party with me. You know, you have fun with me, and I will guide you through these crazy songs. You know, with my hand gestures and my thing. You know, I will pull you through like a conductor, and we will fucking have fun when we play. It won't be this pretentious. Look at us, how fucking technical we are. It's never that bullshit with Atheists at all. It's and I think that's kind of unique, man. And it translates better now than it did back in the day. Because it's an idea that people can wrap their head around now, as there are hundreds of bands that are complex and intricate. So and far more than we were, you know. But you know, it's just like Black Sabbath is a band that really set off heavy metal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And but it
100%.
Couldn't be more basic. But it doesn't take anything away from so while Animals is leaders and between the Buried and Me and all these, there's so many way more technical bands than Atheist and Cynic, you know, for that matter. It doesn't matter, and it's nice to be in that place as an older guy, you know, it's nice to be to have a safe spot in history where it doesn't really matter, you know. I mean, I'm happy because that's all I ever asked for. Like people to always say, like, you know, where does this music go? And I was like, people have to learn how to play like really well, and they did. Not only did they learn how to play well, but God, the talent of today's musicians is fucking staggering.
Well, like, we talk about how once bars are set, you know, so you guys set a certain bar for things at the time that you guys did, and and once those bars are set, it's only a matter of time before somebody tries to exceed it, you know.
Yeah, but that's the point. You want them to. I want them to.
Totally.
Maybe people that are insecure in their world will be like, oh, I hope nobody break. Like even football players, athletes. You know, I think a lot of athletes, you know, are happy for people that break their records. You know what I mean? Receiving or whatever. They go, oh, good for you, man. Fucking, even though it's a different game.
And you could trace like a band like Animals' leaders back to the ripple that you guys, set in the pond,
It's good to be. It's like a relay race. It's like we're trying to win. Everybody's got to make their run as fast as possible. Hand the baton to the next person. Run your ass off, and let's win this fucking race. Let's bring attention to this music. Because there's this huge still in the 21st century in 2023 and into 24. This idea that heavy metal is this knuckle dragon, silly. And it's like, my goodness, you people are missing out on.
It's so different.
I said, filmmakers. I've said this on a couple of other interviews that I feel like one of the greatest things that could happen with filmmaking is for people are just skipping 40 years of incredible technical metal.
Right.
They're starting with Bitch and Trouble and fucking Slayer and early Metallica all the way to now. You're not using any of that in your movies, like I mean, how much of that music they're still trying to tap into what they feel is like this intense music. We have an intense scene in this movie, and maybe it's a brutal murder or something. But man, they are, and I'm surprised that Quentin Tarantino and people like that aren't hip to like, wait a minute, because if you if you took some of the music of today. Even if you had that kid from Lorna Shore do some fucking monster voices, you get him and Alex Terrible and these kids, like pull them into the movies and let them do the voices for these monsters, and all of a sudden your imagery becomes way more powerful. With the right music.
That just reminded me of I Am Legend, Mike Patton's.
Mike Patton, he did all that shit.
And that shit, and it's just like pulling a real voice into.
Hollywood's missing out on a full 40 years of catalog of music that they would shit down their leg if somebody pulled them in. I tell Paul that all the time because Paul Masvidal is, worked with Jim Carrey.
That's right.
Worked with him on a children's book. Also, has written a lot of music for That 70s Show. What else did he do? Third Rock from the Sun. Was that was yeah. So he's done a lot of stuff, and he has friends in LA and Hollywood. And I was like, man, you got I know that Jim Carrey's aware of, but he's like out of the business now. Like I think he's done making movies. But somebody's got to fucking get that, and I think that would really solidify our era of music, because we're like, this whole genre of music is very treated very much like Rodney Dangerfield in comparison to all the other groups of like hip hop, blues, country, Southern hip hop. Everybody else has their fucking branch, but for some reason everybody still thinks that heavy metal is like, oh, fucking the devil, It's like, man, you're missing out on some stupid guitar players and some amazing drummers.
When I've told people that I don't even use profanity in my lyrics, they're like, wait, what? But I thought it was death metal. They don't get that you can actually, have a modern thought in this type of music.
Super misunderstood. And I when I'm not touring, I live close to the beach, and so I have like an 8-person golf cart, and I cruise around the beach, and I pick people up and take them around, and I love being around people that are excited to be around the beach where I live. Beautiful, and it's just fun, and I can never. As soon as people go, oh, what do you do? What do you do for a living? And I'm like, oh, I play music. And they're like, oh, you play a band? Yeah. What's the name of the band? Atheist. Oh, it's always like
immediately. They don't even know what it sounds like, and they're already the
name.
They
go, it's metal. Like, oh, heavy metal. Like, I'm like, oh, and then
I know what that is. I know what that is. Heavy metal. I've heard of it. Yeah, I get it.
Well, they think, oh, anti-religion and heavy metal of this guy.
Yeah, just like knuckle dragging, fucking.
Yeah, knuckle dragging, exactly.
Silly Flintstone character, you're like, what the fuck, man. I mean, if any of those people actually understood the level of musicianship that it takes to play, an Atheist song or an Animals leader song or an Obscura song, I mean, just there's so many, like, it's fucking, like it is like I see Southern rock and guitar players like Ted Nugent, like, get the fuck out of here. Ted Nugent. You know, like there's like 1 million, 5 million guys that play like that fucking guy. You know, like
Yeah.
I'll give Ted his credit. Back in the day, in the '70s, he shined because maybe there wasn't enough exposure of a lot of musicians like there is today. Like there were a lot of better players than Ted Nugent back in the day, but he just happened to be the guy that had the long ass fucking hair and the attitude. And
But that doesn't negate your point, though, which is that
8-year-old girls that play better than Ted Nugent.
Yeah, seriously,
the point is, and we've beat this horse to death on this show, but you end up such a seasoned listener when it comes to this extreme form of music that we've spent, at least half our lives involved in, and so to try and get somebody who hasn't put in that time and given that much love to something, to an art like this, to get them to understand the level that you're trying to get them to when you put on.
Yeah, but isn't it really like about this? The core of people will hear a tagline or see a headline or hear something about a show or a band or a song, and they roll with that as opposed to engulfing themselves in it and finding out about it. Like we don't, it's such a different era right now where, you can look at politics and it's that way. Like people, if you really put people in a corner and say, well, what do you mean? Do you know what socialism is? Mm-hmm. And they go, can you spell socialism? No, you can't. And people, but they'll shout out about like, fuck him, he's a socialist. Okay, what is socialism? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
so the point you're trying to
what I'm saying is that like it's the same way in music where people go, I don't like that kind of music. So heavy metal becomes or as soon as you say heavy metal, something they go, I don't like that. What I thought was really funny is that Coachella, which is like full of all these pretentious fucking uppity people, and Knocked Loose played. And what a brilliant move for those guys to do that. What balls, you know what I mean? Shout out to Knocked Loose for doing that, because I guarantee you nobody in that little fucking that show was prepared for Knocked Loose. I saw them open for Gojira, and it's an acquired taste, but it's a taste I dig. The energy of that band live is fucking awesome.
Well, the big move about that, though, about the Knock Loose thing, is that Billie Eilish was playing that too, and she was standing on the side of the stage watching them, going like,
"Really?
Fuck yeah, this is sick." And then and that's like a huge, it's like it did more than we know for the because then it took like Billie Eilish, I know she's popular and good, so she's good, so I'll listen to her.
Everything she posts gets 4 or 5 million fucking likes. So if she shouts you out, just like Taylor Swift, if any of those fucking people shout you out, your social media goes through the fucking roof. So, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They did it in a way that I respect. Like that's scary balls to go out to Coachella.
Like what you guys did, kind of with Cannibal. I mean, a little bit.
Yeah,
different,
so you're feeling the same thing. It's a similar.
We didn't have a choice though.
Yeah.
Like he was like, there's nobody for us to. But they put us out with Candlemass, which was like.
Would you guys play with Coachella? Would you guys play it if you guys had the opportunity?
Listen, anywhere with electricity, I'll play. I love. I just, as long as there's people there, you know what I mean? Sure. But yeah, absolutely. Coachella would be something, I think that's I guess my point, going all the way back to the original way we got into this topic, was that people don't realize how cool things are because they hear about something. Like if you told Coachella about Knocked Loose, they'd be like, oh, no. I'm going to go get my fucking toenails painted and I'm going to go get a massage. I don't like that kind of music. They accidentally fell into a Knocked Loose set and were like, what the fuck is that? You can't deny that energy. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a Southern rock guy. Stand in front of a really good, powerful fucking band that's good at what they do in their genre, and in a loud setting with a group of people, and walk away and be like, meh, I don't know that you do. I just think that's the thing about, there's so many tremendous metal bands around that a lot of people just haven't ever experienced. Metallica, started off as a very underground band, and eventually, so when uppity 35-year-old Wall Street rich guys go to a Metallica concert. They hear Inner Sandman. To them, that's like, Jesus Christ. That's the fucking heaviest thing I've ever heard. I mean, we're all like, yeah, fight fire with fire, dickhead. Fucking take a tie off and fucking, you're missing out on all the cool shit. You're way late to the party, but good for you.
Without trying to be pretentious, my analogy, I guess analogy for like pop music or people who look at music on a just like a basic level.
It's a social setting.
Yeah, so they're like they're treading at the top. They're treading at the top of the body of water that we're in, keeping plenty of oxygen, and they got their most of their bodies in, but they're treading. They're not going to dip their head in too much to see what's going on below the surface.
Nope.
But I and this is where the pretentious part gets. We are the guys who decided to dive underneath the surface and see what was going on. And there was this crazy, Metallica would be a perfect example of a giant, beautiful whale that came out from fucking nowhere. And then when they got to the surface, they started playing to the people to the surface. But they came from the depths, and the people that experienced, Metallica in the beginning, they were down under the surface with that majestic whale, and we kind of were tired of what was at the surface and decided to dive underneath to see what kind of weird shit we could find down there. And you got to be a free diver to get to Atheist in the fucking late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, it took 15 years. It literally took, it took from 91 to 2005 or 6 before that happened. For Atheists. So it was so that's just another example of people, but I just think that exposure is the most important thing. So I wish that cinema would use a little more heavy music. I think it would benefit them. It would benefit the genre that we're in and we love, and
Right.
and create revenue for bands other than tour, make a record, rinse, repeat. It's like this cycle that we're all in.
There's tiny little blips every now and then, though, where you do get a movie that you're like, oh shit, they actually do know about the underground. Like Extract, that dude, whoever directed that, I forget his name. The butthead dude.
Did you see Metal Lords?
No, I haven't.
No,
but what I was just going to get to was even to the mainstream. There's a Monsters University, which is a Pixar film.
My mic was muted. Extract was directed by Mike Judge, right?
Yeah, the Beavis and Butthead guy. And there's all Relapse band. All the band shirts are Relapse.
Yeah, I did this Symbolic Carnage shirt.
There's a grindcore band that's playing a house
like
party.
A month ago,
like that type of shit, and that's got fucking
there's a grind band,
big actors and actors.
Think about how cool Cannibal Corpse was in Ace Ventura.
That was huge.
Yeah,
probably one of the biggest.
The contrast of that was cinematic fucking genius. It was perfect because no matter who you are watching that movie, you're gonna be like, whoa! Like you really get the point of he's really in an outcast situation. Like he's at a show or he's really outside of his. It couldn't have nailed it more.
We talked to Paul about that shooting, the drummer of Cannibal, when he was on, and he had mentioned how that you just have to act like you're playing because there's absolutely
like 9 hours.
They have to keep the sound to complete.
Yeah, it's like making a video. Though.
You can hear Jim's lines while he says them, so he's just got to sit there with the energy of playing Cannibal Corpse songs, but not hit a cymbal or a skin.
Yeah, and that was a great opportunity for them. And I know they still get checks from that shit. Look, that was years and years ago. You think that somebody would be like, wow, that would really separate my movie from other people's. Even if you don't have a cameo like that, but if you're just using it in the soundtrack. And I'm sure there are some really sub-genre indie movies that have. Like I love River's Edge, shout out to Brian Slagle and Metal Blade for doing that soundtrack. Have you ever seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
No.
What?
But Metal Blade was behind that shit.
Oh, dude, you're welcome. Fucking
Yes, no. Thank you,
River's
because
Edge,
I'm gonna
man.
get
Yeah,
into it.
go watch it. It's Keanu Reeves. I think his first movie.
Oh, really?
I
And,
love
yeah,
Keanu Reeves,
it's
bro.
fucking it's our childhood. Like he's just like this metal kid, and I don't want to spoil it for you in any way, but it's really disturbing. And Crispin Glover's in it as well, so
Ah,
super
dude.
fucking
Oh,
crazy.
Kristen Go. Yeah.
Crispin Glover and Keanu Reeves. That's like and a sick soundtrack with Fates Warning and Slayer and
Why have I not seen this movie?
so good, man. Yeah, it's really, really good. So, and I, years and years ago when I saw that, I was like, God damn, because we were on Metal Blade. I was like, fuck, how do we not get on that fucking, to get on a soundtrack for a movie? It's so
Do you
good.
ever look at the movie? Do you ever watch the movie and be like, yeah, fucking
Yeah. Oh,
Mother Man would work perfect right there, dude.
Yes, of course I do. I fucking, listen, I listen. I have so much music. I feel like I just wish I could meet some. I wish I lived in LA, so I could meet
Dennis
some.
Hopper's in it too, dude. What the fuck am I
Yeah,
doing,
Dennis
dude?
Hopper.
I'm
Yeah,
watching this movie this
how could I
weekend,
forget that?
dude.
Yeah, he plays a pot dealer who is super fucked up and has a relationship with a blow up doll. But it's really, really, really good. And it's almost like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Super dark.
So
Like,
yeah, I was born in '84, so catching that is just a little bit after
I
me.
can't
But
believe you
I mean,
missed
I
it.
go all the way back to like the '70s and shit. I love Kubrick.
You're
stuff,
gonna love
but
it, man. You're gonna love it.
yeah,
So
I'm down.
send me a message after the show.
Oh
after
yeah,
you watch
dude.
it.
I'm definitely like I said, I want to watch it this weekend, dude.
It's
So
cool, man.
Yeah.
probably get Carrie's coming up this weekend, dude. We're gonna hang out in
Talked to him
Rockland
today.
again.
He told me
Oh
that.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, so what we get back to movies and like putting metal in, I feel like, I mean, I'm talking more of the mainstream movies. I feel like everything's so safe.
Yeah.
And like, let's just do a remake of this and then it's like you said, they're not using like it'd be a band not using like the old school influences of metal and then creating a new band and starting, their influences.
People
like,
always look at precedent as opposed to
yeah.
people are like, well, we can't do that because of the precedent of whatever it is they think is the precedent. But you can't operate that way artistically. You just can't. You got to fucking roll the dice, man, and be like, that would be like if people were like in Vegas, nobody went to Vegas because they're like, most of the time people lose. It's like, no, I'm not going to lose. Fucking, and then some people don't lose. They go out there and they do well. So you just got to be kind of courageous and, musically and take chances. And then as a director in a movie, I just think that I just don't think they're exposed to it. When do they ever meet people like us? When is somebody, who's actually a decision maker or a movie maker or a top cinematic sort of guy or even a director or photographer, somebody to connect you with an in at Paramount or one of these companies where they go, man, we've been tapping into all these old fucking songs for so long. Like, how many times can we play? Like gangster films, like, just everything. There's so much, everything has been used so many times.
Yeah.
But I think it's criminal that some of these great cinematic fucking directors and movie makers are missing out on Psalm 9 from Trouble or a Candlemass record for a particular moment or Gojira. Like, if you really wanted to like intensify your murder scene, there's so many bands that have so many snippets, 45 seconds, that would just electrify your murder scene. And on a level that Oscar people have never seen. It would be shocking to them.
It's like,
Isn't it funny how those people would be like the nicest, kindest, non-murdering people that you would ever meet?
Just like metal musicians, though. Listen, Corpse Grinder's not fucking slitting nobody's throat. He's fucking he's getting furry bears for fucking kids that don't have them. You know what I mean?
It's like in the mainstream, like nothing's gnarlier than Master of Puppets, like Stranger Things or something.
Think about the reaction to that. Everybody was like, "Oh my god!"
Dude,
like
exploding.
It's like we've been nibbling on that brownie for 30 fucking plus years. You fucking dork. And all of a sudden now you're like, "Ooh, Master of Puppets, Jesus Christ!" Yeah, hello. There's a ton of shit after that too that you're totally missing out on. Think about what that did for Stranger Things. The amount of clicks and likes and attention they got just from doing that. So whoever did that that's what I've been waiting for. Like, where are the kids that are the underlings at these movie making situations? They go, you know what, sir? You should really listen to all these songs. Like, I feel like I can intensify your scene. Like, where are those fucking kids? If you're out there, fucking call me.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
I
a
think
movie maker, fucking call me. I would love to do a soundtrack for a film.
Hell
the
yeah.
bias of metal, though, it goes back to
Totally.
what you're talking about. The bias of people going like, "Oh, like I was at work the other day, and they're listening to like, eat my pussy, fucking fart on my sack, like gnarly shit." No, and then they're like, "Oh, Joel probably wants to listen to his metal music," is what they said. And I was like,
say it like that.
Yeah,
and I was
funny.
like, dude, because it's like a bias. Because I also, because of that, I went home and I randomly was like, let me look up the top 20 most selling artists in the last top 20 in the last 30 years.
Mhm.
And it was so like one name singers, a rapper, and then like one band, and then like another 5 singers, rap. It's like it's been taken to the like pop star is neat. That's all we want. Pop stars. Number one that we want. It's bands are gone. Like bands, like people don't like on Billboard and
Most
stuff. It's just
people
like
don't want to
give a shit about
that.
bands.
Look at the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, yeah.
Usher.
I know that's a random. It's like, dude, that guy's been gone for so long. It's like there's so many bands that could blow that shit up. It'd be amazing,
There's one like glaring, obvious. Metallica is doing one of the largest stadium tours ever done. Like bringing in 100,000 people at one place. 100,000 people, and you don't want to have them play fucking halftime.
They played for over 1 million in Russia, like back in the day.
Yeah,
like, dude,
AC/DC played that as well, man. Brian Johnson produced that old Neurotica shit that I did. He showed us some video that has never been seen. His personal video of that Russia show. They were there, and that was fucking insane. But I mean, like, how do you not have Metallica? How is this not the year that Metallica plays?
It's because Metallica doesn't talk about sex all the time, trying to get sex all the time, or losing sex. Like, it's all about
it's true.
having sex, trying to get sex.
They have no problem playing. Sex, dude. They have no problem playing that music in between downs and at halftime. You'll always hear
opening when you come out, when you come on the field. It's like, and for the Sharks around here, it's fucking.
So it's disrespectful, I think. I mean, I think that the end but that's synonymous with what we're talking about here, about the general public and this idea that when as soon as you say heavy metal, like I can give you an example. I live in Sarasota, Florida, which is a very sort of affluent beach community, and very conservative, very Republican. I have been in this community for 40 plus years. They will put, like, Dickie Betts is also from here, from Allman Brothers. Mm-hmm. And anytime that guy farts in a fucking jar, they'll put him on the cover of the fucking newspaper. Like, you know what I mean? And listen, Dickie Betts and me, we're, he's here, I'm fucking here. But I mean, guys like me and Gary Meskel from Propane also lives here. Like, we go to Europe every year and fucking we tour the world. Like, they're
contributing,
they're scared to put atheist in the newspaper. Like, they don't want to, so they'll never do, like, it's been really rare over the 3.5 decades I've made music in this town, and I love this town. When people say, where are you from? I could easily say Tampa, but which is like 50 miles north. But Sarasota is where I grew up. I went to school here. I love it. I raised my kids here, and I really love this community. But God damn it, they will not give me love, man. But anybody playing southern rock or blues, and they'll just fucking cart them around like they're royal.
I mean, I need to shout this comment though. I need to shout this comment right here because this is a cool idea. It's like basically to take movie clips and rescore them with death metal as a YouTube channel. Like,
I'm with you. Listen,
proper.
Me and my friend Biza Levante, who's my go-to guy. Like, I just love him. I've known him for a long time, and he has a studio here in town. And it's exactly, I was like, let's take Scarface, which has music that annoys the fuck out of me. Like, I love that movie visually and everything, but that fucking garbage disco 80s music. Like, I would love to see some of the scenes in Scarface with some sick ass fucking music, and not necessarily like extreme metal, but just some of the music that we all know and love. Because within extreme metal, there's a lot of atmosphere. So many bands, have atmosphere, not just it's not just this speed and fucking craziness. And so you could handpick certain moments of that would just fucking elevate. And if somebody saw that, I think that they would. So who said that? Who is that? Shout out to whoever said that.
Death Metal Laker.
a week or fucking. Absolutely. I think that would be a great first step to show people.
Yeah, just get it started. Get the ball rolling.
Yeah,
like,
because you're familiar
have
with
a video
visual
go
scene.
viral. Have it go viral, and like have people go
Yep.
like, "Oh shit, this works way better." And then
Yeah,
have
start a YouTube channel where you do only that, and you have different bands rescore certain, 3-minute sections, 4-minute sections of a classic, scene that everybody visually is familiar with. But I don't know, something about, there are moments that the music is like I said something about this once before on Facebook, and people are like, "Oh, I love the music from them." I get it. What a feeling. It's like, what are you gonna put in there? But you could put like I don't know, fucking. There's so many trippy ass songs that would just make it more darker and more interesting. I think, especially in the violent scenes. I just think that this music and the atmosphere and the heaviness lends itself to those visual scenes. So.
Well, speaking of atmosphere, we got the professor.
What up, dude?
And I have to pee,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna. That's perfect
Do
time.
it.
Me too, actually. But go ahead, Joel.
Go for it.
What's
Joe,
up?
what up, brother?
Can I go make another job while everybody's peeing?
Go do
dude,
it.
that's all
Do
good.
it, dude. I'll talk to Joseph for a second.
Best dad ever.
Yeah,
I'll be right
you
back.
are, dude.
Intermission.
Dude, Professor, we got you back, bro.
I know. I didn't want my first time being like midway through an episode, but there
It
was a
ended up
family
happening that way.
dinner. I thought we were starting at 8 these days. I forgot it was a 7 p.m. one. And I'm like, well, either I ditch the family early or I do my usual half pod kind of move.
Nah, it's all good, dude. It's cool to have you back, dude. You've been a busy man for several weeks, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in Europe from the 5th of September until like 4 days ago. So really good trip. I got to play a show in a cave as
Wait, you said December, you mean September?
September. Yeah.
Cheers.
As sick drummer saying. Really, really good time. And I don't know what else to say right now, but
That's all good. Well, we can
y'all.
break into it whenever you want, dude. I'd love to hear about all of it. You probably I want to hear about the Hunter shit the most.
Oh yeah, shout out Hunter again, man. Yeah, so first time playing live since he was I think he said in 14 or some years, and it was headlining a festival in Europe, and he'd never left the country, and so his first time returning to the stage was headlining a fucking another continent's festival. Yeah, he did great, and it was really fun meeting him in person and chilling.
Yeah,
Hunter
dude.
again, everybody.
I'm super jealous, dude. I can't wait for my in-person, physical, in the flesh Hunter again hangout. It's gonna happen in my life. Hunter, I'm calling you out right now. I'm gonna hang out with you. I'm gonna give you a big old giant hug, dude.
The rest of the Agalog guys are also really cool.
Don Anderson.
Yep.
Don.
There's a lot of hype. Yeah.
Did you ever see Don? Have you ever seen Don's YouTube college? I don't even know how to describe it. A thesis he did at his college as a professor about metal.
No. This
Oh my
God! Interesting as shit, though.
Oh, it's sick, man. It's unbelievable because he's so fucking smart.
Yeah.
And he's a college professor. I can't remember the university that he's at, but he did I don't know if you call it a thesis or a special class about the origins of metal. And you just type in Don Anderson and history of metal, and it'll come up. And he starts with classic composers, and he's like, it took hundreds of years to go from, I don't know, Mozart to all the, he's so smart. He was naming all these composers, and he's like, Black Sabbath, 1970, whatever. And he's like, how do we go from Black Sabbath to Atheist, Unquestionable Presence? He's like, blows my fucking mind. In just a few short decades, we went in all this. So it was really nice to hear somebody really get it, on a level, this isn't just normal metal anyway. But I suggest anybody look that up on YouTube. And but it's not just about atheists, but he just goes through the just the progression and how fast music progressed from Black Sabbath
You just brought a point up, which is, you know, the exponential increase of things in general, you know, and you were talking about these composers and how slow it got to Sabbath, and then Sabbath hit, and then this exponential increase in things started to happen to where if
evolution.
You look at the metal graph, it starts to climb a lot faster, and you know, we're in the middle of it right now. And that climb is definitely going to continue after us too. So I'm actually really excited for the generations after us, because shit's getting crazy, yo.
I have a conspiracy theory now that I've peed and I spoke to a smart speaker, one of the Series or Alexas. And I asked it. I was like, "Hey, what's the top 10 selling artists in the last 10 years?" And it's like Taylor Swift, Drake, blah blah. And I was like, "What's?" I said, "What's the top selling rock bands in the last 10 years?" I was like, "I don't know. I can't answer that." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
AI doesn't even AI doesn't know about us yet.
No, it's just kind of going like, it's not cool enough to talk about, dude. Let's not talk about
I guess it is, yeah.
And I
it's
was
like asking Siri, "What's this?" And then she tells you, or "What's this?" And then she's like, "Here's what I found on the web."
Yeah. No,
you know what else is cool? You know what's cool and courageous about metal is that, you know, that's different from other sort of segregated genres of fans and music, is that you're rocking a Smash Mouth shirt right now on a fucking metal podcast. Like,
do you even get the joke? It's a vulgar display of power.
Pantera crossover, dude.
Oh man, I didn't even see that. That's fucking brilliant.
Did you think I was watching this?
I thought it was a straight up legit Smash Mouth. I was like, you know what? Hey now. You're a rock star, buddy.
That's how good. That's how good that shirt is, dude.
But in reality,
I wanted you to bring it up so I could just be like, boom! It's vulgar. It says,
so you're wearing a Smash Mouth shirt? Like, what is going on?
That's outstanding.
Kelly, we are, you know, we are '90s kids, so you know,
I know, but
grunge was
no
still
Smash
a thing
Mouth,
for
man.
us.
No. It's a. I saw the shirt and I was like, I have to buy that shirt, dude.
No, that shirt's brilliant. That band is garbage.
Yeah, no, I know.
Wearing a Cynic shirt with a parrot shirt on
bro.
top because my dad.
No, but I think that's we like. If Joel was a legit Smash Mouth fan, I would still respect that, because
I'm into death metal, but like, dude, Smash Mouth is my shit.
Yeah, but hold on, listen. But I guess my point is, even if you were down with Smash Mouth, I'd be like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know, I mean, like, I think that's kind of a thing in metal, you know, I mean, that's even more so now.
Their side shit. You know, they have their other things.
It's okay to like other kinds of music. It wasn't always that way, you know.
No, not at
in
all.
the early days of metal, it was like, oh, what do you mean you like Motley Crue? It's like, yeah, I think that, you know, the first two Motley Crue records are good.
Oh, they are good.
Consciously, I think that
I
consciously and subconsciously we realize that it is the what makes metal progress and all that and expand is the fact that we aren't just listening to metal, guys.
No,
we're listening to fucking everything. We're literally taking the best parts of everything that we love and trying to incorporate
it's the protein in our meals, but obviously we have a lot of sides. You know what I mean? So but every meal has a good protein, and metal is always our protein, be it fish, chicken, steak, whatever. Fucking sorry, vegans.
Good analogy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for conversation purposes, you know, when you have all your sides of things, you know. So some people are like, you know, my love is extreme metal, but I love fucking sick ass blues and killer jazz, and fucking I love, you know, EDM or whatever. You know, it's okay to. You know, and then the great thing about metal is you should be able to incorporate some of those things into your metal if you're a musician or an artist, you know, and
totally,
right.
100%.
And that's
and
what
you guys are like taking the protein and you're like, wait, but there's some sick sauces that we could put on that protein. You know?
throw some mushrooms on, you can barbecue, you can fucking grill it, you can fucking, so. But I think, you know, the Till the Dirt thing that's how it came about, because it came about very organically. Like, that's just I love old Soundgarden, and I love House and Chains, and but I also love sick ass brutal shit.
Right.
So I just think I had some Jaeger bombs and a recording possibility, and that's how that record came about. And so I hope people will check it out. But it's super weird, though. You know, I mean, it's going to take people a minute to get used to that record, because it's just like, It's just there's a lot of things going on, but you should always do that.
Right.
Somebody's got to move the needle.
No doubt, no doubt. And I also would say if I showed up at a restaurant and somebody served me a till the dirt meal, I would fucking eat up every bite of that shit, dude.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good protein.
Good protein.
So signing with Nuclear Blast, that's a fucking rad thing too for the band.
No better place to be in metal, man.
Hell yeah, dude. So
it's good shit, man. And also not just signed with him, but signing with Monty Connor, who is a longtime friend and supporter of me and the music that I've done over the last few years between Atheist and now. And he's also been a really brutal naysayer of mine. So I've sent him projects over the years where he's like, nope, fucking sorry. And I love that. I love people like that. They're like, nope, sorry, buddy. Sorry. So that's what made Till the Dirt so much more exciting was him going, whoa, all right, this is something that hasn't been done yet. I don't know if anybody's gonna like it, but fucking I can tell that it hasn't been done.
Something
that's what you really want to be as an artist. You want to paint in colors that people haven't seen. And sometimes people may not want to see those colors, but fuck it. They're colors you haven't seen before.
And as somebody who's A&R at a record label or a record label CEO or whoever's taking that chance, if you're in this business for so many years, you kind of just could guess most of the time how certain bands are how the public's going to respond to it and this and this and that. And then you get one of those things where you're like, oh, this is a chance that I have to take as a business and I'm going off of instinct. Is it going to work? It kind of
we were turned down by a number of different labels for this Till the Dirt thing. And I was just giving this record to a label. I wasn't like trying to ask for a bunch of money or any of this. It was, the way this record came to be, and I did almost all of it myself. And then I brought in musicians to play what I had written. So it was done in a weird way, not in a normal band way. But I mean, those people were afraid to take a chance. They wanted to stay in the pool. This pool is so nice and warm, and I don't want to get out of the pool and jump in the other pool. Monty Connor, of all guys, like that guy has signed everybody from Deicide to Slipknot to fucking Obituary. Like he is the most cynical, the most like, I can't do it. But I mean, but the difference is he recognizes when something's different. All right, let me roll the fucking dice. Let me see what happens. That separates the fucking men from the boys in this industry, in my opinion.
That's the point I was trying to make, which is the easy way out. A guy in that position could take the easy way out, like Joel just said, but he still
what makes him great.
He remembers what it was like to take chances in the very beginning because it was all chances then.
Oh my god! And
you kind of want to rekindle that and feel it's gambling, dude.
It's
literally the gambling addiction.
Like the Jets are gonna win this week. You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It is kind of gambling. It's taking a different style, and that's I remember watching I think it was a Frank Zappa documentary or something where he said like kind of everything kind of went towards this what I just told you about the top artists, or they went for the easy, like, the pop star is easy. Let's do that. Where it used to be like they would sign like obscure ass shit back in the day and be like, let's see what fucking happens with this. And then it went to like, this is proven to work, this formula. So let's
I guess think about it. I mean, if you look at life as a whole, some people go to fine restaurants. Most people eat at McDonald's and fucking Burger King. A lot of people drink Bud Light and Coors Light. Some people drink fucking top shelf whiskey and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, so there's this thing, and I think it probably translates into music as well, where some people are like, give me that Stained. I love that guy. Fucking, I mean,
dude, I can play some of their shit on guitar.
and then you throw them something weird, and they're like, no, I don't know. I like my shit simple. And like, the majority of people in this country, don't want to be out of their comfort zone.
Exactly.
I'm really cool on my recliner right here, man. I ain't trying to get out of it. And it's that makes it difficult to be an artist because you really want to be like, listen, get off the chair for a minute and open the door. Look outside. Look at all this fucking grass and all the,
Right.
you know, the trees, all this different shit. Get out of the chair, bro.
You're looking
And,
for listeners like us who like to be challenged by what we're listening to,
you
and
want to hear new things, you know?
and I mentioned it in the last episode. I've mentioned it several times. Now at my age, I've experienced it all, and all the stuff still resonates with me that really made an impact. But now the newer stuff, it has to give me involuntary emotions. I have to feel something that I wasn't expecting to feel, whether it be happiness or sadness or anger or
be
whatever.
revisited by a feeling that you haven't felt in a long time. You know,
Exactly.
that's also a thing that's great about new music is like you hear something, you go, oh my God, that makes me feel the same way as fucking Massive Attack made me feel.
Mhm.
You know, like fucking.
But you got it involuntarily. You didn't realize it was going to happen. You just all of a sudden are in it, and it was the music that you were listening to that put you there.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking for now in new music.
Ian's comment actually kind of resonates with me. It's hard writing for non-musicians. There's other countries that are out like Europe and stuff, and you know, metal's huge out there, and they have an awesome music like programs for their kids, like where it's like teach them music early, get them into it, like get them like started on it, not just like not be a listener and a person that's gonna be like, oh, this is a lot of my opinion on it, rather than like a person that actually has played an instrument, understands an instrument. And then that's where I think a lot of the European kind of like amazing and huge metal scene has come from, is that they've learned an instrument, they've played an instrument, and now after you touch an instrument and you start going like, oh, this is sick, you know, like, oh, Nirvana's a little easy now, you know, it's like it's and then going to like finding bands like, whoa, what the fuck are they doing, you know, like I think almost getting kids to play music early will influence them to
but
kind
I think,
of
you know, European musicians and the way that people live in Europe and the way it's structured lends itself to a more brilliant musician, a more studious. And it's no disrespect to American musicians. I think any high quality American musician would probably say, yeah, you're right. You know, like Europe just automatically has this level of discipline. It's a little different than American. It's not to always say that Europeans are going to set the trend or be the ones that always do something different, but they're at least in the intellectual capacity to always understand. Like, you know, we in America, and it's not our fault, but we are presented with so much dumbness around us.
Yeah.
Like we are given so little credit as a nation. People think, oh, we got to dumb it down. Just give them that super stupid shit, super stupid commercials, super stupid music, you know, pop music, and let's keep all these dummies happy. And when you look at the political state of, you know, where we're at, where we're in a nation that's split right in half of people that are completely polar opposite, you can see why that has happened, you know, artistically as well. And
yeah,
you know, Five Finger Death Punch. Get the fuck out of here, man. That shit is like it's like a knockoff White Claw to me musically. Like I can't even. I'm sorry, man. I just fucking.
8%, it's 8% White Claw. It's a more heavier White Claw.
You're drinking the White Claw, so he wasn't talking about you. He was talking about
they're on the episode next week, so
like a truly.
Sorry, man.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
One of those bands, man, that I just can't fucking. They represent every, like, they are the epitome to me of this American standard. And you know, listen, a million times more successful than me, you know. But that doesn't always make things better, you know. I mean, it's just I'm just being honest.
I mean,
they were the writers that were
not their fault that what they did was popular. You know what I mean?
They were playing without, like, a lot of those guys. I watched a documentary, and it was a guy that was like a guitar player for Alice Cooper, or like he was like going to all these other bands, like it was called like Hired Guns, and then he was like, so he like made all these friends with all these big bands, and then he's like, I'm gonna do my own thing, but then had all these contacts, and I think that's why something so simple got so big. Is because that guy
does a great cover. I love Bad Company, man. Bad Company's always been Bad Company reminds me of being
they're a cover band. Their biggest hits are covers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And think about how many bands from the 90s, Marilyn Manson, Limp Bizkit, fucking a lot of bands broke on a cover song. You know, Limp Bizkit broke on fucking Faith, man.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah.
And Sweet Dreams.
Heaven Let Your Light Shine Down, Candlebox. This is Dolly Parton shit, you know.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
And Dolly Parton's version is like rad. Like the chorus has like all these
Dolly Parton
harmonies.
is
on
rad.
the
I love
chorus
Dolly
and shit.
Parton.
Yeah, Dolly
Dolly
Parton
Parton's
rips. But you know, Shine by Candlebox.
Yeah.
Not shine down. That's all Dolly Parton, man. And
That's
like,
That's Collective Soul.
Collective Soul.
oh, that's
Dude.
sorry, Collective Soul.
Yeah,
Sorry.
We're all collective.
Whatever.
Dolly Parton, the
Close.
Jolene.
Collective
I know
Candles.
that.
I
I know
don't
Collective
know.
Soul.
Which
I know Collective Soul.
that song to me is like one of those songs that fucking irritates me. Like, like who the fuck shows up to rehearsal and goes, check it out, dudes. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, we're not working on that tonight. All right, sorry, buddy. I'm sure your girlfriend loves that riff, but we're not. Like, I would never fucking. If anybody in my
song's like
band,
It's
like
weird as
picking
it
up
kinda
your feet. You have to pick up it when you walk. You have to pick up your feet, not drag your feet. It feels like that song drags its feet a little.
Oh,
that
my
riff is in a weird way.
I
Kinda
just saw
like
Steve
Smashing
Flynn just
Pumpkins,
trying to
too.
come up with a beat to that riff in the garage. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck am I supposed to do right
it's
now?
the
dude?
worst, man. I mean, it's just so like kindergarten, man. It's like, and then the fact that it's such a big song just makes me go, what the fuck, man? You know, like
It is, dude.
why do I do this?
Got,
You know?
like, like violins and shit, like fiddles, and it's all like country, and it's like
You don't want to be
way better.
challenged. You
And
gotta
you know what's funny about that is I was in Neurotica at the time. The Collective Soul, Creed, Days of the New, all those bands were at the top of the radio pop, and I was trying with Neurotica to get. I was in that world. I was above ground. I wasn't underground. I was, you know, playing in New York City, and you know, we signed with WWE and all that. We were trying to get on the radio, and so I was just like, you know what? I can't believe that that's the shit that people want to hear on the fucking radio. But it's not really the case, because what was happening was, while payola and radio, rock radio, was gone legally, you're not allowed to do that. It was still being done by a middleman. There was this company called McGaffey, and they were the in between. You would pay McGaffey, and McGaffey would influence the records, the radio stations to play your song. And so we, you know, even though we had Brian Johnson, who had produced the, you know, nobody from AC/DC had ever worked with anybody on anything. Think about it. Like, who have they ever helped? AC/DC. Like, you never see him guest on anybody's record or help anybody. So they get the goddamn singer from AC/DC to produce a record, and have Mike Frazier, who did Aerosmith Pump, Load, Reload. Like, you know, I had all the fucking A-list dudes on this record, and it came out and it was on an indie label. And so radio stations were like, well, you know, we love this song. We're getting a lot of calls on it, but we're not going to be able to add it, because Capitol Records is like, hey, man, we're paying you fucking $5,000 to play the new Collective Soul record or play the new Days of the New.
Yeah.
And so we can't play the new Neurotica because you're on an indie label and you're not paying us that money. And I was like, ew, I don't want to be in this fucking business. You know,
if you went into an art museum and then found out that they were withholding certain art from you because it didn't go through a middleman that they were dealing with.
Yeah, because the artist didn't pay enough to be in your gallery.
But you're going there to see all the art. You're like, wait, I can't see that art. I can only see this certain art right here. I would want to,
because they could afford to be in your gallery.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's essentially what it is. So and then if you're a person that goes to the gallery, you're like, oh, well, this is all the art there is.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right, so I like this. You know, and you're missing all this other shit because of money. You know, I mean, not because of the right thing, but because of money.
Yeah,
and that's what that whole business is
have
about.
Money.
Rock music is gross.
It's only gotten worse over time too, and that's what I'm kind of getting at with.
I'm glad to be away from that, man. I'm glad that the underground accepted me back into my world where I'm comfortable, man.
The same people that made people go like, oh, metal, you like metal, oh, weird. Okay, you like devil metal stuff. It's the same people that kind of almost pushed that narrative that people are like they're weird for listening to metal, or they're into this, they're like they're goths, you know, you're instantly Marilyn Manson. If you like metal, you are just fucking wearing weird shit and just trying to be weird all the time. And
so just Google the top 10 serial killers in the last 30 years. You won't see anybody that looks like us.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see a bunch of fucking guys that look like they work in your library, or they're fucking maintenance manager fucking house. Like, we are like, we look scary, but you know, that's the huge misconception of heavy metal, is the visual judgment. And it's so funny because think about it. In America, 75-80% of people are Christian, and one of the fundamentals is, thou shalt not judge. Or the judgment should not happen. But, oh my God, does it happen? It's and it's funny the hypocrisy of it all. And when you go to Wacken in Germany, have you guys ever been to Wacken?
No, but I'd love to go.
Oh my God,
I know.
It's 80,000 people. So I don't know what city you guys live in, but it's bigger than some cities. And when you come up over the ramp to go into the amphitheater or whatever the fuck it is, and you look out at 80,000 people with primarily black shirts, like it's the sea of. It's like landing on a planet of all like-minded people.
Right.
Oh my God! And every booth and vendor has things that you need to buy. You must have. You're like, oh
God, that's been so much money.
Oh my God, there's fucking that leather shirt, that leather jacket, that fucking those pants, that album, it's fucking everywhere through the whole place, and you just can't get enough of it. And it's a 4-day event. So you're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, and everybody you're meeting is kind of got the same vibe,
Yeah, but yeah, so to get to the point of that issue is that you go and you look and you go, you look like you just walked into the scariest bike bar that you ever walked into in your life. But as you walk through the crowd, it's the sweetest, kindest, 300-pound bearded men you'll ever fucking meet in your life. And every 20th guy, you'll see a cute chick who's fucking super nice and not slutty and shitty. Like when you go to a Molly Cruz show or a Warrant or a Poison show, you see those chicks that are like dressed scantily that are slutty. Girls that go to metal shows, not all, but primarily girls are just like they've maintained their level of respect, but they like to fucking still look good, but they're not running around giving it away to everybody. They just fucking look good. For men, I love that shit. Shout out to those girls, because there's not a lot of women at metal shows, but there actually is in Europe, more so than in America. But so it's such a huge misconception from the general population of people about heavy metal. And it's always been that way. Right. But in the 21st century, in 2023, it's shocking that it's still that way, especially with the internet and people being able to, because now you can quietly from your home go online, dip your toe in the pool of heavy metal without your friends knowing about it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you can kind of check it out. And it's not like it used to be where you really had to make a statement and go out and buy it. So it's shocking to me that it's not more acceptable. But when we go all the way back to the Knock Loose thing, Coachella, I think those kinds of things need to happen in metal. Bands need to take chances like that. I don't know how they got that gig, man, but fucking brilliant move.
Dude.
It's funny because I saw Knock Loose. I saw them in the same venue you played in Santa Cruz about a year ago. So watching them going, and I remember as we were leaving from that show, I remember like the next day, it's like they're on tour with Gojira the next time, and then they're doing Coachella. I was like, holy shit, this man is absolutely.
That's why it's important. That's what's important for anybody watching this to click like when you see something you dig, to watch something, to share it. That's currency for metal bands right now.
Yep.
Like if you can't be at our show, you can do this. When you see a post, just take 2 seconds and be like. That really fucking matters.
You're talking about the baton pass and the relay race. That's a smaller version of that relay race where if you can't fully be in the race, but you're like on the sidelines and shit, there's many batons that you can grab and pass along, which are
you could be the guy standing there holding the water. It's like here's some water, fucking. Just
that's exactly what it is.
Really helps metal because it's a team sport, man.
Same thing with podcasts, by the way.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, we're talking about things that, some people go to shows and they're like, oh my God, I love Atheist. I wish I could sit down and ask him a bunch of questions. And I would love to be able to sit down with people and do this. That's why I love podcasts, because I feel like, okay, let me get 100 people together and I wish that it was, I wish that podcasts could turn into where there are 100 people watching and they can chime in.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would be a kind of a cool angle because, everybody's got a podcast right now. So you've always got to be just like music. You got to try to do different shit, so you might like for 15 minutes of your podcast, blow in fucking 40 people that are watching the show and give them the opportunity to also be there with their, it's hard technology wise. I don't know if you could do that, but that would be fucking cool. But just
it's possible. Maybe not on our level, but it's
we
possible.
have people asking questions in the chat.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a question actually. We were back earlier. I wanted to ask, and it was before I got the YouTube channel for putting death metal clips over movie parts. But I mean, he asked, "Do you ever see a metal band being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" And to me, when I originally saw that, though, I was like, watch when we're like way older, it's going to be like there's going to be a metal Hall of Fame. I have a feeling metal's
we'll
going to
be in
explode
like
at
our
some
60s
point.
and 70s. So
for 10 years, guys, or more than 10 years, I have lobbied to Monty Connor, to all the label heads that I know, Brian Slagle, all the guys that I know at magazines, to help me put together a commission to start an extreme metal Hall of Fame. Because I feel like, I just, there's so many.
You gotta hit up one of these.
There's
like
so many other
these outlets, though. You gotta hit up like a Metal Sucks or one of these. I
want to have everybody should be involved. Metal Sucks.
Yeah, all of them.
Pitch in money to throw a yearly event in New York or LA or whatever. Every year we could do a different city, or we could do whatever. But it needs to happen because it's 4 decades of shit. We could honor people like Chuck Schuldiner, honor people like Jesse from Napalm, honor Roger Patterson, honor all the people that we've lost, because we've lost so many amazing musicians. And this genre of music deserves its halls of decadence, of greatness, and think about all the great people that are gone. Jeff Hanneman, the list is endless, and
right.
We need to have that. We need to honor that, and I think that'll be an incredible yearly event that will be successful financially, and also successful visually for the bands that have put in all these years. And looking at bands like Obituary and Cannibal Corpse and how great they're doing right now, those bands are out selling out fucking theaters, just crushing it. I mean, nobody ever. That's it deserves it. This genre of music has earned.
I agree.
Its place at the table, and so now it's just really a matter of top-notch label guys, magazine editors, and some of the top webzines like Metal Sucks and such to kick in the money to create it. Give it a name, brand it, and get it done, man. Let's go. Let's celebrate the great. Imagine how fun that would be.
Oh, dude, I was just about to say it'd be the fucking sickest party. It would be the sickest party.
Yeah,
we could all throw.
15,000 people would show up every year. And all fucking fun. And you're also going to get these special performances that you would never get anywhere else because it's the awards show, and we've never had that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And back in the day, man, back in the late '80s, there was a thing called the Tampa Bay Metal Awards, and Atheist won an award, but it was all just Tampa Bay. It was Obituary, Deicide, Morbid Angel, but and Savage Odds kind of bands and that kind of thing. But MTV came to that ceremony. It happened, and it was probably 1,500 people there back then. So imagine now, you could film it for Netflix or Amazon. It's fucking why do I have to lead people to the water? Come on, man. All you label guys out there, Slagle, Monty Connor, let's get it together, dude. Let's get the committee, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has a committee, and let's put together the people that we want to vote on who should be in the Hall of Fame, but not let it be stupid and pretentious like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let's learn from their mistakes.
What are those people called who do the Oscars? What are they called? The people that vote?
I don't know.
They're called something, dude. They have a name.
But you have that, where you're a part of that constituency of people that.
Yeah, it'd be like a board of something.
It's like a board, but it has to be I feel like it has to be.
Listen, if I could ever attend something like that, even if I never won or was nominated, I would still like to take my kids.
The Academy.
Because you can have tribute.
Academy, dude.
Just endless cool possibilities. And monetarily, I can't imagine it failing.
Well, I think the first 5 years you have to probably do 3 or 4 inductees because there's so many. It's you have so much catching up to do. It's and then finally catch up maybe in in like 5
Think
years.
about the performances. You could get anybody to play that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to put Merciful Fate in right away. You got to put fucking, and so now you're getting these performances. Like that's a big deal. Again, I hate to do business for all you motherfuckers out here, but like, that shit is, there's dollar bills sitting there waiting to be had. Like, if you put together a show with, I don't know, Merciful Fate and Venom and fucking Sodom and all of a sudden, you put this bill together with, I don't know, there's just early, Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, you start getting into that. It's like that becomes a big deal in our world. And and it also turns other people on to, and because of the streaming possibilities of today, it's not like distribution is an issue. You just get it on Amazon or Netflix or Hulu or anywhere. I mean, you can easily put that out there, and people can watch it, and then they learn about it, and then just like listen, you can watch a behind the music special about Wham and George Michael and be like, and get to the end of it and be like, man, I kind of gave a shit about George Michael. Like I couldn't have gave a fuck about before I watched it.
The Eagles documentary. I was like, I always liked them a little bit, but I watched the documentary.
You become invested. You're ready to fight for them.
I was like, oh my god.
Fight for the Eagles. So if people were exposed to it on that level and they saw the the history, and it was properly done, it was well done, with a backstory for each of the bands being inducted, and a good display of talent on the show, and well filmed and all that. I mean, it'll be amazing. So
I just want to be one of those announcers. I just want to be the guy who pulls the card out.
You guys should be a sponsor.
Best death metal.
I know that'd be awesome.
Album.
Because it would take kind of fuck you money to like start off and do that. Because if you're gonna get Merciful Fate, Venom, if you're gonna get all these people like Merciful Fate, Venom, all these people in the same building, like King Diamond, like and all.
But they're gonna do it because of the prestige. They're not gonna. It's not like a normal
prestige first. Yeah.
Should we do it in like Vegas?
I can say that if somebody asked me to come play, I'd be like, no, we'll do it for free. We'll come and play that. I mean, that's in the best interest of the collective,
right?
Yeah. So, and I think that anybody with any fucking integrity at all would feel the same way. They're like, yeah, let's do that for us. It's an investment from all the old guys to now set the stage so that this continues for the next 40 years, and then we can induct people every single year and have awards just like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where they have these special awards for people that are extra special, in the movement, and it just educates people.
I think that we would come up with cooler awards too, because like we're already like. I think that
like best solo.
Yeah.
Oh god, that'd be so much fun to watch.
Dude, so there's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there should also be like an awards ceremony every year. So both of those should happen.
I think that we'd be coming at it with a more selfless perspective than all the other awards shows and
there's death metal award shows, by the way.
Golden Gods, there's Golden Gods, but I'm just saying, like, okay, Hall of Fame though, there is no Hall of Fame, so that's why it's intriguing right now. We're talking about an actual.
Yeah, but there still isn't a really high quality yearly awards ceremony for extreme metal.
It's true.
The porn industry has one.
Yeah.
Get a couple more clicks. There's not a quintessential fucking award ceremony that happens yearly where there is an event with people at it and it's filmed and broadcasted to the world. Both of those ideas are good. So everybody get on that shit.
Yes, and I'm saying what would be different with ours is
he just purchased just now metalmusichallofame.com. Ian,
our buddy over at Sick Drummer Magazine. Shout out Ian McDonald.
I love Ian, man.
That's perfect.
Ian brought me 800 milligram pot parts.
Oh yeah,
on tour.
Oh yeah,
those are my kind of numbers, bro.
That helped Suffo Atheist tour like roll smoothly for like 2 weeks.
Let me just
800 milligrams is a lot. So we would break up like a little corner to go to sleep. And I should send you the picture. It's really funny. It says Pot Tarts and it has like the Pop Tarts with the stoner eyes on it and everything. No, I love Ian McDonald. He's listen, a great.
He's a pillar of our community, dude.
of what we do. Yeah, I love him.
Hell yeah, dude. And I just wanted to add this before I fucking forget it. That's all I've been trying to spit it in here real quick, which is I think that the way that we would look at a Hall of Fame situation would be much more selfless. I probably already said that earlier, but the thought is like everybody has ulterior motives in all these other Hall of Fame things. There's always money, and there's certain, even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
See, I would like to be on the board of it, because if I'm on the board
Rush,
of it,
like Rush, how long did Rush take?
That's
to get
what
in
I'm
the Hall of
saying,
Fame?
dude. What the
Like,
fuck is Rush
right.
not doing in the Rock and
Well,
Roll?
no, they are.
Hall
They're
of
there.
Fame?
They're there.
that's
They
fucking
are.
ridiculous. The Rock and Roll Hall of
ridiculous.
Fame is not what you want to model yourself after.
No,
You
for
know,
sure. But
you
it'd
can
be
look at what the
modeled
Rock
by
and Roll Fame. There's structure there that you can be like, okay, you know, the idea of honoring, you know, the industry is one thing, but the way they do it is fucking disgusting. You know,
Right.
I mean, it's not
And it
accurate.
wouldn't be
It's
done
not.
on our end. Our end would literally be from the heart.
It would
Everybody
kill it.
fucking. That's why, even though it's like we're like, why isn't anybody understand us? I kind of like that not everybody understands us, because we have this like bubble that we've built throughout our lives where everybody understands each other.
Well, good for you. I'm trying to sell records, motherfucker. I'm trying to get people to fucking buy my record. He's like, I don't really care.
No, you know what I'm
God
saying.
damn it, I
though,
just fucking made a record. I want people to listen to it.
okay,
I'm
but
just
selling
kidding,
your
man.
record on a Hall
I'm
of
just kidding,
Fame
man.
situation, though,
I'm
is
kidding,
different.
man.
You got to sell the record to get to the Hall of Fame. That's what I'm saying. The Hall of Fame would be just us like being like, okay, this is like the real shit, and everybody's being truthful.
Well, shining a
There'd be
light
lot
on
more honesty.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot more honesty versus what gets us money.
Like for me, like there's so many things that I think are missed. Like, so do you guys, are you fans of Fates Warning at all?
Yeah.
So Awaken the Guardian. You know that record, everybody?
I when I say yeah, I can't. Right now, I've had a couple of
Yeah,
beers
I'm a
and
fair
lots
weather
of
fan.
PA2,
I need
so
to
I
give him
can't-
more of a shot.
Fates Warning, Awaken the Guardian. Really important power metal record.
Okay.
Very. Has everybody heard it?
That's where
I'll look
we
it up
need
right now.
radical research to be with us right now.
Okay,
One of
so-
those guys just wrote a book about it.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard it, then go listen to it. But check out the lyrics to it, because like there's this is why I love, you know, award ceremonies and like celebration of people that are really great at the things that they've done for the last 30 years that never got praised for it. The lyrics on Fates Warning, Awaken a Guardian are so fucking brilliant, man, like amazing. But no one will ever know about it. But if somebody were to showcase it or shine a light on it, people will be like, wow, that's really fucking poetic and amazing. I had no idea that this band even existed or that they wrote lyrics like that, like Fata Morgana and all these like amazing lyrics, you know. And Gene Hoglan also, Dark Angel, brilliant fucking lyricist. Like, you know, like people don't know that when you think Dark Angel, because it's like, yeah, read the lyrics, man. The lyrics are fucking killer. Like,
I think that even is a
let's
fault
celebrate
for
like best lyrics of the year,
bubble.
like, you know, best lyrical fucking verse of the year. Like,
I know,
you
but that's a fault for us. Even in we've been trained to not really pay attention to lyrics, but then you got a guy like me or you who actually put time into what they're writing about. They actually connect themselves to what they're writing about, and then nobody will really go and
well, I think
read
that's
it.
where we'd be different from the rock roll. Where the rock roll will be like best drummer of the year, Tommy Lee. Get the fuck out of here.
Mhm.
Kidding me? Like fucking.
It's already bullshit.
Tommy Lee is not that. He may be the most popular, but he's not the best drummer. Like,
Right.
I believe the integrity level of an Extreme Metal Hall of Fame or Extreme Metal yearly award ceremony would have way much more integrity than what we've seen from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or American Music Awards or the Grammys. You know what I mean? Where you really get into like, you know, like I said, best solo of the year. Best lyrics of the year, like, you know, that shit. I think metal people would really like respond to that, you know, even if it was just done online. You know, if the first couple of years of it couldn't be done in a venue yearly, it'll be interesting to do it. You know, maybe even online, have a ceremony in a smaller setting. But I feel like fucking 10,000 people would show up to that. If you did it in New
I
York,
feel it too, dude.
if you did it at Irving Plaza in New York or anywhere like that, and you had, you know, like, and think about all the bands that would want to come, just like a festival, you know, like Maryland Death
Right.
Festival. Bands come from all over the world to come and play Maryland Death Fest.
And people do too as
if
well.
If you were smart, you set it up around one of like Maryland Death Fest, like maybe 2 days after. All those bands could stick around. They're all going to go to that fucking award ceremony, and they're all going to be on film. And you know what I mean? And that would be amazing. I just think every year the possibilities would be endless for. It would make me happy. Like I remember when I first saw Metallica in a magazine back in the day, I was more excited about that than I probably was when I saw my band in a magazine for the first time. Like, you know, that feeling of like, yes, they're finally getting their day. You know, like that was a feeling that I don't think was matched by Piece of Time coming out. So I think that people would feel the same way if bands were honored that most people don't know about. But you're in a room full of 10,000 people that do know what you know, and it would be a cool thing, man. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on all that, but
no,
we should do that.
It's definitely a great idea. I think I would definitely love to be a person in that crowd, you know, because the whole point of why we're doing this show is because me and my resident homies here have been into this extreme form of music for more than 2 decades, and we still love it just as much as we did then.
Yeah, you want to share?
Talking to a legend like you and really nerding out, as you called me in the beginning. I'm a nerd on shit, so it's like
you're way cooler than me, buddy.
No, dude. But in reality, that's exactly the whole point of this. Is we like to spread it thin and really get all the nooks and crannies, you know, checked out and get all the information, dude, you know. And with a band like Atheist and Till the Dirt, and I have so much information available for me to pick through when I'm sitting there with these bands, you know, and that I don't want to just phone it. I mean, I do get into the vibes where I need just background music while I'm doing something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that's totally chill, and I love those situations too.
Yeah. Christmas time, dude, I'll fucking throw on some Sinatra. You know, when I want to feel that. Dean Martin, I love that shit.
Dude, Motown, doo-wop.
It makes you feel the way. It doesn't have to be extreme metal. It doesn't have to be heavy metal. It doesn't have to be pop. It doesn't have to be jazz. Like you should want to accentuate your visual location as a human being each day as you go out. If you're going shopping, if you're headed to the grocery store, you may want to listen to something that's going to, you know, make you feel, you know, maybe you want to listen to some old 80s shit, and then you roll up into some jazz, and you roll up into some Jeff Buckley, and you just go all over, and it's going to make your movie better. You know? Right.
Exactly, dude. And I dig that for sure. And that's exactly how I am, dude. I am ADD when it comes to a situation like that. But then there's also those times where I can hone it in and really focus on something, you know.
Yeah, because there's not a restaurant you ever go to where you're just gonna where they're gonna bring out a plate that just has a fish on it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there's a fish.
Nope, I gotta have the 5-course meal where it's served to me in the proper order.
Metal is our fucking main thing. Yeah. But we have all these other things around it. So yeah, that's an important part of it, because you know, and that's the way all people should be. But pop music people aren't there. Like average people that are just like, you know, don't really care about me. Like my mother is so amusical.
Yeah.
Like she just doesn't really care about music. Like, and I've never met any. I love her to pieces, and she's always been supportive of me, and I love her. But she couldn't care less whether she ever heard music ever again. And I think
it's wild to me.
I can't even get my head around that at all. It's so goddamn important to every driving to get my kid from school. Yeah. I need to hear a particular kind of music. Like immediately my brain goes, rolling through my shit, or I go through my Spotify. Yes, this. Yeah. I want to hear Pucifer right now. Fucking, I want to be in that fucking headspace as I go to pick up my kid from school. Right. I fucking hate going there and all the pretentious fucking, you know, yoga people and latte fuckers, and you know what I mean? Like I don't look like all the other parents at my kid's school.
Latte fuckers is I'm stealing that from me.
Latte fuckers, dude.
Brain metal and latte fuckers so far I've gotten from this.
Needless to say, I stick out in the school fucking parent line, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, and then you talk about somebody who's like your mom, where it doesn't matter to
If she ever heard music ever again, I don't think she would care.
But and it drives you insane because you've had such probably the deepest conversations in your life about music with somebody who just vibed on the same shit as you, and you fall down these rabbit holes together, and you're like, this is a new brother. I just met you know, at the show tonight, but we vibe so quick, and that's those situations are what tells us like it's just it's a different language. When you're with your mom, when I'm with anybody who's outside of this bubble that we're talking about, we now are in just a different realm, and you have to kind of like explain that. You got to kind of hide it.
Yeah, you do. I mean, like I said,
in certain
when I'm out on the beach, like doing that golf cart shit, when I'm guarding people around,
yeah,
I'm 100% hiding most of it. Rarely. The other day I was riding, I had a Cynic hat on, and this guy was in the back of my car, and he goes, "Hey man," he's like, "I'm a jazz drummer from Knoxville, and these guys in a metal band asked me to learn a couple Cynic songs," and I was like, "Oh, those are my dudes, man." And so what's funny is like I was like, "Yeah," he's like, "You play in a band too?" And I was like, "Yeah, Atheist," and he was like, "Oh, fuck, I can't believe it," like, it was cool, I was like, "Yeah, dude, but." Everybody sits and wipes their ass the same, buddy. I mean, it's like you'd be shocked at how I know there's this perception about music where people think, "Oh, well, band's been around a long time. I've seen them in magazines. They must be rich." And it's like, no. Rich people make shitty music.
Yeah,
not everybody.
Can I present an alternate reality for you guys?
That's not
quick?
true,
man.
No, for sure. I understand what you're saying. I'm
being a bitter dick.
Yeah. So, I know how it goes. I know it's like we played fucking people, growling at people and going, "Fuck."
Shout out to all your money makers.
When we hear, we're just like, "Fuck yeah!" But at the same time, like, so present an alternate reality of. I know Ian just mentioned Sleep Token. That's a band that's exploding, but it's a metalish kind of funk, hip, all these things. But like, imagine if all of a sudden, like, death metal was hitting number 1 on the charts. Would you think it was as sick? Because now all of a sudden it's this thing that you've been seeking your whole life, and you found it, and all of a sudden now that's the thing that all the high school girls and everyone's listening, like high school boys, they're all like, "Fuck yeah, this is the thickest thing." It's like all of a sudden now, because metal's had this kind of the cool part of the brethren, for lack of a better term, is the fact that we know about it and a lot of people don't, and we know it's better than most music, and a lot of people don't. But if it was, let's say, in 5 years, all of a sudden death metal, it's Cannibal number 1 on Billboard. It's like.
Well, let's go back to, there's already a precedent there. Metallica. Yeah. Metallica was everybody's best kept secret. Our little clique of underground people. In the beginning, it was Metallica and Slayer, Merciful Fate, and all that. And I remember how I felt when they signed with a major label. I was cool with it. So I think that to answer your question, I think that because it built itself outside of that world, and the outside world embraced it, then it doesn't lose integrity.
So
it would be shocking to me that if 16-year-old girls in high school were suddenly into fucking battery, I'd be like, wow. Holy fuck,
it can happen though. It can happen though. If let's say if the genre got that big, then people would go like, "Oh, dude, you like fucking Cannibal Corpse, dude?
13-year-old girl with a Tom Warrior shirt on." I'm gonna be like, "Wow, really?" That's
but I'm
crazy.
saying, like, there was Metallica was an outlier and Pantera was an outlier. They hit number 1 on the charts. They
Metallica was way before Pantera.
Well, way before, but still like another metal band.
Exciter, Metallica, Trouble, bitch.
Was hit number 1 though, to be like number 1, like it was Pantera, maybe Metallica. Obviously Metallica was before, but that's one, and that's an outlier band. I'm talking about the whole genre. It's like instead of Taylor Swift, Drake, blah blah blah, it's just all like Cannibal Corpse, like Deicide, Atheist, Cynic. Like, I think our whole that would fuck up our whole world. I think.
No, I don't think it would.
I don't think it would
I
either,
actually,
man.
what I was going to come with some positivity, which is, I think that there's less ego, even though ego's all around. No matter what, if you're human, you're going to deal with your ego.
But now you're wearing the Taylor Swift shirt, though. Now you're wearing the Taylor Swift.
Wait a
shirt.
minute, hold on a second. So didn't Metallica outsell Taylor Swift?
No.
No, I
No?
don't think so. Taylor Swift's like
don't
number
know.
one in
There
the
was-
world.
Maybe all
No.
time.
Maybe
No,
all
there
time.
was some.
No, they outdid her in the stadium show that they did.
So you're
Exactly.
saying,
Yes.
all right,
So,
get,
because of the way the stage was set up,
And-
that's how they were able to do 100,000.
Stranger
Yeah.
Thing, like TV shows and that. I'm just saying for a second, like just devil's advocate for a second, like Stranger Things, though, that I mean, as annoying as it is, that like Bastard Puppets thing was like the thing that was talked about.
got my kid into Metallica
So-
That was
more
good
than
for
I
them,
did.
man.
Dude,
I've been trying to
That's
show my
their-
kids metal.
Months
That's their
of
Cannibal Corpse moment. That's their
reverberation.
Cannibal Corpse Dave Ventura.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah,
I mean,
but Metallica.
So many people were turned on a Cannibal Corpse because of fucking this Ventura. So I don't
Right.
think that's a bad thing. I don't think that reduces the integrity of the art. I just think it exposes the idea that that it needed to be that much of a reach for people in the mainstream to fucking appreciate it. Like,
I'm
sorry
actually
it took you
seeing
so
what
long to
Joel's-
fucking figure it out, but welcome to our party. You know what I
What
mean? Like,
Joel's putting out there is like literally the extreme version of like Taylor Swift is so extreme right now.
yeah, but I'm
you
not
wake
mad
up-
that Demi Lovato wants to do a song with Knock Loose. I'm not fucking
That's
mad
cool.
about
That's
that.
cool. That's cool.
I'm
People
now
are paying
That's an example.
$30,000 a ticket for Taylor Swift, though. $30,000 a ticket for Taylor
Only
Swift.
because somebody will pay that.
That
But I
is
mean, not,
crazy.
not everybody's
There's,
paying
like,
it.
there's way too many
cars,
people that'll
dude.
pay that,
Yeah.
and it's
people are
scary.
giving
Yeah,
up a
totally.
new car to go see Taylor Swift for a
No,
couple
people.
hours.
I remember I
Good
went to
for her,
Levi's
man,
Stadium.
you know?
I was going to go see a
I
soccer
mean,
game,
yeah,
like a
for
Barcelona soccer game, about 2 months ago, and Taylor Swift was playing 2 nights in advance, and they had signs going like, "You're
Yeah.
not allowed to park here if you want to watch listen to the show. Like, pay the $50."
Yeah.
People, there's crowds of people that just park and
Yeah.
listen to her.
I've never seen anything like it, man. I don't even
I
remember
know.
back in the NSYNC and Britney and
It's more
Justin
than that
days.
now.
I don't remember it being on a Taylor Swift level. Like she,
I don't
Man,
understand.
you gotta tip
no.
your hat to her, man. I mean, she's
She's humble about it, but
Well, she
Jesus.
probably makes like almost enough money to buy a house. Actually,
Well, she makes $13 million a show
A
A
show.
show.
I know.
for her.
I'm just saying.
And
Yeah.
everybody else makes a lot of, and also it needs to be said that she gave out $5 million in bonuses to her crew. So if she walked up to a truck driver driving a semi truck and gave him $100,000, man, I can't hate that. You know, and I don't give a
No,
fuck
it's
whether I like
great.
her music or not. Like that's
Yeah.
that's what needs to happen in this industry, because this industry is full of sorrow and fucking scraping change. And so when somebody has that kind of success and they pass it on to their people,
Yeah.
pop music, country music, whatever, I got love for you, man. You know what I mean? So she's done it right, man. And she, it's kind of like, karma is working in her direction, and, and it's not going to last forever, but good for her, man. But goddamn, can you imagine waking up tomorrow morning and going, you're fucking have some sausage and some eggs and $13 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
Or you
you-
wake up tomorrow, you egg some have some
Well,
eggs and sausage, and then you walk out, and everybody's wearing
Make a
a
half
Yeah.
a billion a tour.
It's like you playing a show in a
Every
city is
day.
going to cause like major traffic in that
And
city.
then maybe you get into days for 4 days and you're like, oh my God, I'm so lost. Sorry, let me focus. Wait a minute, I made $50 million in the last 4 days.
It's like, dude,
holy shit, man.
dude, sorry, I got stuck in traffic. Cannibal Corpse playing fucking
Yeah.
AT&T Park, dude, and I just fucking
Taylor Swift should just have like Cannibal Corpse open for her tours. Like,
If anything she touches will be big. I mean, obviously, I'm a big Chiefs fan. Everyone knows that. So Travis Kelsey's.
Yeah,
getting her
400% on
now.
his jerseys.
Yeah, his
what are you
jerseys
talking
went up
about? I don't know what you're talking
400%.
about at all.
I know. Well, his
What are you talking
jerseys
about?
went up. His sales went up 400% in a day.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of that.
Now she could just politically fucking position herself to
Yeah.
help people register to vote, which she did. She got like 3,500 people or 35,000 people to register to vote. So it'd be nice to see some people that have the attention and if you want to call yourself an influencer, then be an influencer, because what's happening right now, and I don't want to get into politics, but man, there's some real scary shit going on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah,
The American people need to come together and be like, all of you are fucked up. You're all fired. You're all fucking fired. You are not. You can't balance our budget in 2 days. That in 2 days, our my mom's not going to get her check next week to live to eat. Military people aren't going to be paid, but congressmen and senators will be
Yeah,
paid.
they get paid. Yeah,
Dude,
Fuck you.
Taylor
Fuck you,
Swift
you're
for
all fired.
president then, because
Taylor Swift for president.
we'll all get 100 grand.
Taylor Swift for
could
president,
influence
corpse
that.
grinder for vice president, dude.
Corpse grinder for vice president.
I love that ticket, man. I love that ticket.
Oh my god, that ticket! I would be putting
The
all my
Fisher
paycheck
Swift
into
Well,
that.
what we want. Taylor Swift for president, corpse
Fisher
grinder for
Swift.
vice
Fisher
president.
Swift.
That's it. That's it,
Fisher
dude.
Swift.
That's what we need. That is totally what we
Corpse
need,
Swift.
dude. Oh my god. You heard it first here, ladies and
Oh my
gentlemen.
god, that's fucking funny.
Yes.
Guys, I gotta go get some dinner. I love you very much,
All right.
man. We'll talk
Dude,
about
All right, let's
hey,
wrap it up. Let's
this
wrap
was
it
a
up.
great time, dude.
I'm starving.
Kelly, that was
No,
No,
it's
it's
all
all
good,
good,
it's all
dude.
No,
Kelly,
easy
thank you.
conversation, man. I love hanging out with you guys. Thanks for always having me and supporting.
No doubt, dude. And I'm
Love,
glad we
man.
didn't even plug anything in the beginning, but you're doing a podcast too. You got
we're
fucking-
homies. You know, we're
yeah, dude.
yeah.
we're talking, you know, about metal. I love nothing more than to just discuss the history and the, you know, it doesn't have to be like me. Look at my record, you know, but go buy that record though.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking
Till
kill
the
it
dirt, dude.
and
Joseph's back
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick.
also, all the atheist reissues are beautiful, man. Those fucking what are they called? Splatter vinyl.
Yeah.
They look amazing.
Hell
Like
yeah,
that.
dude.
So and they're all different than any other issue that's been available. So if you're a collector, you want to get these those atheist reissues, and I'm working really hard. I'm literally leaving this interview right now. I'm gonna go to my studio.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a sick ass fucking atheist strip just for you guys.
Fuck
And
yeah.
it's gonna be on the record
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
be coming out next year. So I love you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
love you too,
Hey,
Kelly.
let's say Anthony, let's hang out for a second. You know,
All right, yeah,
we'll
do post pod. But
Kelly's
Kelly,
gotta go
you do
eat.
your
You know,
thing.
do all the
Dude,
things.
Kelly, thank you so much for
Hey,
your
I appreciate
time,
you
bro.
guys.
Very
Thanks
much,
everybody for
We'll
checking out
keep in touch.
the Kelly Death podcast.
The Kelly Death podcast, dude. Why
Yeah, I
didn't
like
we
that.
ever
I like
fucking say that until now, dude? That's amazing.
Tell you that. Oh, it's brilliant. I like it.
Ah,
Thank you
all
guys.
right,
I
dude.
appreciate you,
All right,
man.
man. Have a good night.
hell
dude.
yeah, we'll keep in
Thanks
touch.
you as well.
buddy. Love you,
yeah,
brother.
See you guys.
Yeah, man. See ya.
Dude,
That was sick.
yes, great
That
time.
was red. Yeah, that was sweet.
I know,
I
it's
feel
like-
I feel bad when when people have to do their thing and we're like, all right, let's do the plugs and hang
I
out.
know,
For
we didn't even
It's
plug
like
anything.
East Coast. It's
tonight.
like 1 a.m. for him.
Yeah, no, I get it. Joseph, how
Nah.
you doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, dude, we got Joseph back, dude. Let's fucking drill into
Just
him for a
professing.
second, dude.
Yeah.
There was
We
a couple
still got a
times
guest
Joseph
we can
was
drill
about to
into.
like.
Are you
try
teaching
to-
a lecture right now, or are you?
No, Joseph was like gonna chime in a couple times, and then like
Yeah.
Kelly would go on something, and then like we'd be like, yeah, totally, and just like oh like rally
Joseph's
around
like-
it. Joseph
he's
was like, fuck.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's all right. I teach a class starting tomorrow, so I'll get to say whatever I fucking want for the whole class. And I don't need this time to, you know. They have to listen to me. So,
Are you back in
shit.
Santa Cruz?
I'm
It's
in
all
Santa
right, dude.
Cruz. Yeah.
Oh my! I know. I,
I
didn't
hung
go to
out
the
with
show
your
last night.
roommate yesterday, dude.
I know. I saw you first said that Behemoth was playing in a couple days, and I was like, fuck yeah! And I didn't. I have a calendar now. I'm 39, dude.
How mad should I be about
so
missing
old, dude.
last
Oh
night?
my
I
God.
really wanted to drive down.
It was down the
basically
street and I
for
didn't go.
Imperial.
Because I had plans. I had pizza ordered like over like in Watsonville, Corliss area on the way, and then I get the text like, dude, they're playing it. I'm like,
Joseph, did you catch Imperial?
Yeah.
yeah.
They were good, man. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you won't. It's not the case that you won't ever see them. Like they're
I
seem to
know.
be really
they're,
busy.
they're pumping
But
it out.
They were really good. Man, Kenny can play the drums, bro. That guy. He
Dude,
did the thing, man. The thing you were talking about, where he like plays up blast speed and then he like
during
speeds
the
up
atomic age, dude.
one hand, and I was like, what the? And then
It's just so mind blowing, dude.
yeah, it was really fucking crazy.
I really want him on the show. I'm gonna work it out. I got a line to him.
Nice.
Kenny Gorowski from
Yeah,
Imperial.
Ian, help us out.
Crazy.
Ian's there, maybe, but no. Matt Hollenberg from Cleric. He's been on the show.
Oh,
I
yeah, of
just was
course.
recently talking to him,
Yeah.
and I think that's my line to Kenny. But Kenny's on tour right now, so he's not.
Yeah.
But hold me to it right now. You're gonna see me bring that to fruition. I gotta talk to that guy, dude.
Shout out to Imperial Triumphant for making that avant-garde style of metal like popular enough to be on a pretty major tour doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been a fan of some of that like Portal and stuff since like the mid 2000s, and I mean, Gorguts has always been big and everything, but they're even, you know, Imperial are more avant-garde in a lot of ways, and yeah, they're doing great shit out there. And then there's this band called Twin Temple. I don't know if you've heard of this band. They're like rock and roll.
That sounds amazing.
50s style rock and roll, but like Satan, like satanic
rockabilly or some shit.
Like older Ghost.
I don't know, fucking
older Ghost.
Yeah, no, literally like
Joseph and I saw Ghost together. We held hands.
Yeah.
It was,
no, we didn't Ghost.
we saw Ghost together.
So they're like, are they like greased out? Are they like greased out wearing a pentagram?
Time. I
Joseph,
think you guys
wasn't it?
You saw Iron Maiden with someone else with.
Wasn't it the same?
I know your show's better than you do, dude.
Yeah,
are you sure? It wasn't it?
Because that wasn't an Ozfest. That was something else. That was Iron Maiden playing and Ghost opened.
Yeah. What Ian is saying, yes, they wear like leisure suits with like the fucking hats, and like there's a saxophone player and a keyboard player, and they're doing just classic 50s.
I'm sorry, what's a leisure suit?
I know
what they were wearing. The Playboy owner guy?
Like fucking Blues Brothers shit.
Oh, Blues Brothers.
Okay. Like, I'm saying, like, were they combing their hair back and fucking saying Hail Satan at the same time?
It was like they were saying they were like trying to co-opt like that style and make that satanistic. So it wasn't just metal that was satanic, that there could be other satanic kinds of metal or music. I was not expecting it, so they caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I was also like, I want to see Behemoth, you know, like what are they gonna play?
So you're like, we get it. Like, come on.
And then Behemoth came on, and man, they can still put on a fucking amazing show. And they played
Trevor was boner city over that. He was like, I mean, because me and Trevor have seen Behemoth. I mean, we've played with you played with Behemoth with me, with Casey, right? Was that the tour we did?
Yes.
Yeah.
We played with Behemoth a couple times.
A few times in Netherlands,
and then it was like Ohio
Spokane.
Fest.
It was
Spokane, cool, in America too. Yeah.
There was some other one we did with Origin too.
Yeah,
just like in like Ohio.
The only two I remember is Spokane, and
I don't even know, dude.
Yeah. But no, I mean, even back then, they're just the way that fucking the confidence. They have the most confidence that any band I've ever seen.
Yep. They had tons of stage presence. All the fucking, I wouldn't say gimmicks, but like the moves, you know. And and then Inferno just on this giant drum set, like 12-piece drum set with like, dude, he's the master of that like tribal drumming in death metal, that like all toms, like dun 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 dun, you know, all that shit. And his rolls would be like it's like so fucking cool. I was so inspired. And Nurgle's just sounds good still. His voice is killer. And they played some old songs like Conquer All. They played a couple songs from the other 2000s records that I really like. So
they can make enough money to keep doing it.
Yeah, and it was their first time playing Santa Cruz. They were like, this is our first time in 20 years we've ever played Santa Cruz, and we're gonna come back every time. And everyone's like,
until they don't.
I know. Literally until they're like,
quick. I know to take it away from this just for a second. I want to do a quick shout out to.
Don't talk about the King Diamond, dude. You're listening to King Diamond.
Goldfield's trading post.
Is that?
Oh yeah, I know. Fuck, I've never even been there, and I lived in Roseville.
Okay, that was my first time going to a show there.
There's two Goldfields, by the way. There's one in Sacramento. And
we
I've seen shows.
Set up the GPS, and it took us to the wrong one, dude. So I get to the wrong one. I drop my fucking glasses in a puddle of stagnant water.
That's where I broke my rib. That's where I broke my rib on a scooter.
Dude. Okay, so then I got a handful of beer to bring Matt from Cryptopsy, and I open it up, and there's a small, tiny little bar, dude. And then I look, and then there was this other area where I could turn to the right, and I was like, oh, maybe the venue's that way. So then I get a text from Matt. We're at the parking lot behind the venue. Okay, I turn to the side of the venue. Parking, sick. I go to walk down there. I start to hear the generator of a tour bus, dude. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, we're moving in the right direction. Get there, no tour bus, no nothing. Realize I'm in Sacramento.
And just for
I'm
people
not
to,
in
kind of like give
Roseville.
an idea, you're literally there. It's two venues that are maybe 7 miles apart, 8 miles apart.
Yeah, I was like 15 minutes away from where I was
Yeah,
supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I still got there in time to go do, which by the way, didn't even plug it, but there's going to be a Vox and Hops episode with me crossover Cali.
Oh yeah.
And but anyway, so we finally made it back, and this whole night, dude, I'm like, this place is sick, and it's about a 300 capacity venue. The sound is fucking perfect all night.
Really?
The mix, no matter where
Okay, that's good to know.
no matter where I stood, I heard every single player of every band that night. So I don't know if it was just the sound guy or the system or all of that together, but I was just so impressed by the sound.
That's important for metal because a lot of the, like what we talked about with playing the Vets Hall or something. It's like you can't hear everything, and it's like, oh well, we got to see them, but it's like, well, did you, Felton Music Hall in Santa Cruz is pretty much the same thing. That's like the one place where I go there and I'm like, oh shit, they have really good sound here. I wish metal bands would play here. I saw like stoner rock bands like Bell Witch that are amazing, but like I have never seen like a band I want to see there, but they need to play there. I'm like, don't hide from metal, guys. Like, you have a good system, you have a good room. A good room is huge. Like, to not bounce, especially for a lot of riffs or something. You need like a perfect size room with a good sound guy and a good PA.
And they have their own beers. They brew their own shit.
Yeah.
It's a brewery right next door, full menu. The episode that I did with Matt was we were sitting at the brewery. We just ate some food. We're having a beer. Like, dude, it was totally fucking a sick vibe that whole night, dude. So Goldfield Trading Post in Roseville, shout out.
Yeah, you're like heavily in Roseville. Shout out. Not Sacramento.
No, the one that I went to is Roseville. The one that they played
heavily shout out in Roseville.
Heavily shout out to Roseville. Yes,
I've seen punk bands play at the small, and it's fun there. It's small, it's fun.
Yeah.
But like I've never been to the Roseville one. That's where I was living before I moved here. And I was like, what the fuck? Like as I leave, there's a sick venue that opens. It just kind of made me mad. I hope it sucked. I was like crossing my fingers it sucked after I moved away.
It was really good, dude. I can't wait to go back, dude. And I want to take you there.
And they're also
like a date.
Like the X Bar is getting a lot of shows and stuff, and I think they should probably go to Roseville instead because if the sound's good, X Bar is decent, but like if it's got a venue with good sound for metal, then that's important as fuck. Like, as I get older.
And I was just mentioning, even on the Vox and Hops episode, I was just mentioning that a place like that where Sacramento's like the new spot to hit on all these tours that are coming through. It's the Bay is no longer the Northern California spot to hit. It's now Sacramento area.
Yeah,
that's one of for the smaller places or smaller packages that are coming through. But Cryptopsy isn't a small package, dude. It literally, I was so impressed by the professionalism of that whole entire package, dude. Every single one of those bands were 10 out of 10, dude.
A lot of the bands, they have their booking agents stick to the same venues. So like when I see a band going, we're going on tour, I'm like, okay, it's going to be at DNA Lounge. It's going to be like, I know where it's going to be, like, because they always book the same places. And it'd just be really cool to kind of push them to try different things, because
I'm sorry, this threw me off. Yeah, that right there.
This shit
is Ian looking out his window right now while he's watching this, and his neighbor just plowed over his own mailbox right now, dude.
So sick.
He's just watching us.
Ian's
he's just watching us ran. What am I even trying?
Ian,
to
ramble? When we post the episode, can you post a picture in the comments?
Just for dude, take a quick picture out that window, bro.
I would like to see that tomorrow.
Oh, he's outside right now, so he's just smoking a bowl, watching us on his phone.
He's like, "What the?" Jesus. So Joseph, what do you moved back to Santa Cruz? You're back.
Yeah,
fucking in Europe for a month too.
Yep, I was in Europe. I'm back for the fall. Then next year I will be in Irvine, California for 6 months, and then halfway through the year I'm moving back permanently to Santa Cruz to my own place. So this is just a little like tease trip now. But
Dipping your toes in.
I brought my like instruments up here, so I got my guitar circle.
Oh yeah,
my
Little
guitar racks.
circle of love.
Wait, how long are you gonna be in Santa Cruz before you go back to Irvine for a bit?
Till December 31st.
Okay, December 31st. So we got you for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
I'm gonna make my way down to Santa Cruz before you get back down to Irvine for that.
And I'm building
half
an
a year.
outdoor bar on with my fiance. We're getting like a sick hangout outdoor bar area. Let's
nice.
fucking rage it. And I got
Dude,
guest rooms.
Take me for the grand opening of the outdoor bar, dude.
Yeah.
Just let me. I got only spend like 40 more grand, and we'll get it done.
I'll make you my signature.
Send that
drink
shit
at
quick
the
so I
bar.
can get down there quick.
Yeah.
Tiki
But no, I'm
man.
stoked you're back.
dude.
I'm stoked you're back.
You better
Joseph,
have
but
some
the-
tiki torches.
Tiki, fuck Tiki. I'm just doing fucking
Tiki
outdoor
bar.
lighting, dude.
Chicken.
Fuck peaky porches, dude. I'm trying to go outdoor, dude.
Yeah, you need it more like rustic, like out mountain vibe. We can do the tiki bar down here at the beach where I'm at. So
Oh, is that? Oh, that's the house that we all hung out
barbecued,
at. What's got?
right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Right
It's a beautiful place. I love
over
that place.
there. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Facing opposite it. the
No, it's
outside.
sick. It's right on this. It's on this. You can't call it a lake. It's on the lake
Lagoon.
ocean lagoon. It's like the ocean's
Lagoon.
right there, but it's like it's feeding right. I don't know.
Yeah,
That
this
was,
is where I grew up.
awesome.
Yep. Very lucky.
What a bummer.
Hey, shout out Warforged, and Anthony wanted to ask how they were.
Dude, how were they? They were literally a band that I think that should be playing in front of 4 times the amount of people that I saw them playing in front of at this place. Although that place did pack out, like I said, it was a 300 capacity. I'd say they were 2/3 filled there.
Yeah.
I think that Wednesday, or whatever. No, that was a Saturday night. But I'm saying, wherever you think they were playing in front of 200, they should be playing in front of 600 to 800 people. I literally looked at every single person in that band while they were playing, and all of them are pros, dude. And all of them are really
old one.
I didn't even read it.
It says all good. I love Justin Timberlake. I'm like trying to take comments out of context now.
I was just super proud to know those dudes for this long and know about the music and shit, but never experience it live. And in those intimate realms with such a good mix, I did have a deeper connection with that night than I probably would have if I was at the Vet Hall in fucking Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
There was something that, like, the wavelength was right, and I caught on to it really quick, and those dudes were ready to play. Those, watching Max and Alex together as brothers right there, and Tim on vocals made me realize, like, I need to fucking hit the books again. And Jason's just fucking like in his pocket the whole fucking time. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is going on right now? This is the opening band on this package, dude. I need to take a breath.
I kind of like the format of what we did tonight. I kind of we probably should talk about this off air, but like have the guests like, "Hi guys, peace out," and then we have like a little wrap up, and then
but what if we do 3 hours with them? Then we got to do another 4 hours.
Sometimes it's
another
like
hour.
And then, but the thing that's funny is like when you're talking, I just put like, and also taking comments out of like how they're basically saying what's the word out of.
Do we have a soundtrack?
I just be like this, dude. Just like I was putting things earlier, like a funny like comedian thing where it's like you guys are talking, and I'm just like, we'll take things like old comments and throw them into like what you're talking about.
Try and make it seem like it's working with our conversation.
You be talking and be like, hey, dude, fuck yeah, dude. Like,
Pop-Tarts for life, dude. No, I totally got with that. I was so deep in what I was talking about, I couldn't watch any of those comments because I was just feeling it, dude. I was really feeling this show. And there's actually people that I talked to that I want to connect with on the show too as well. There might be like 2 episodes that came out of there. No, it was great music, dude. I was going to keep going as long as Casey wanted it to go, dude.
Remember the old
Just
Zoom
the whole-
format though? The old Zoom where like if you talk, it
God.
would put you front and center though. It was just like
Yeah,
there was a really funny like episode or not episode, but it was like a class where it's everyone's staying in class, and all of a sudden this kid farts and just puts it on him.
yeah.
He goes burnt
In the
just shows him
virtual
going,
class. And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like,
He's
"Oh,
like he
shit."
just gets called out by the camera, dude.
Yeah, he's just all sitting there like,
He's
what?
all
Like, why are you looking at me?
Have you seen the it's like a virtual courtroom and the guy doesn't know his
dude,
name's gonna be there.
2000.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The guy's like, I will have order in my court. Like,
This one's the cat one. Yeah, the dude's like,
Oh, the cat
like-
one too.
like,
It's
I
just
don't
all like
know,
I'm not a cat.
Judge. Yeah, I'm not a cat. I don't
all
know.
time greatest
The
video.
cat like looks all like, yeah.
It's all moving with his eyes. It's all like I'm
So-
not a cat.
Joseph, tell us your most awesome experience of being over in Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes. Oh,
Yeah. So
get
So
deep.
I played a festival called Prophecy Fest. I'll grab the poster here in a second, bring it over.
Those pictures were sick.
Yeah, it was in a cave. It's called Balve Hole, which is in the town of Balve,
So
which is
sick.
in like Western Germany. It's like they throw metal shows, mostly like black metal and that darker stuff. Not a lot of death metal as far as I could tell.
Your eyes
but,
are super blue right now, dude. Are you blue? Eyes usually
All right.
blue like that? Sorry, dude. I might.
It's
Yeah,
I miss
it's
Joseph so
story.
much. I might like. He's just sexy as shit right now while he's talking, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's my secret power. It's the blue eye thing.
The cave.
Um,
He's talking about cave dwelling. He's cave dwelling
Yeah.
right now, and you talk about his eyes. Come on.
Yeah, and so we're on the label Prophecy Records that put on the fest, and yeah, we apparently the band is like kind of big in Europe, and I guess we went over and found out, and yeah, there was like a sizable audience for us. We played in between Saturnus and Grob. I don't know, a lot of like doom and black and dark folk, all that stuff. I didn't really know too many of them, but you've probably heard of a few, like My Dying Bride, November's Doom.
Oh yeah.
And then like the big headliner was Agalok, who are like a kind of like mid-level metal band in America, but are like fucking huge in Europe. They're like everyone was like, I fucking as soon as Agalok was on the bell announced, I bought my tickets. Like I didn't realize how huge they were over there, and it was cool. And then seeing Hunter play, I already talked about it, but yeah, shout out Hunter.
Oh,
again.
so Agalok was the one that I was gonna say. I think that was the band. I was like trying to grab.
Oh yeah. You. Side note.
Dude.
Well, I want to hear your story after this, Casey, because it's ties in.
Well, I
super sick.
mean,
Look how
well,
sick this is. Look at the cave, dude. The cave
So-
they're playing.
Yeah,
That's
like
so
oh,
sick.
dude, that's
Well-
so sick. You're in a fucking. It looks like you're in Matrix Part 2, where they're like recruiting
Yep.
everybody outside of the Matrix. You know.
And real quick shout out, that bass player on the right is my friend from high school, Alex, and we've been playing in bands since we were like 15.
Jesus. And you're
and
playing in
then-
a cave together.
Yeah.
I
Almost like-
I just almost okay. I almost just cried for a second right there, dude. I just got really emotional when you said that, dude. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Don't cry then. Fucking pussy.
No, I saved it. I saved it.
so,
I just got really emotional when you said that right there, though, dude.
so Agalok headlined that whole thing.
Yeah, they were the last band to
I didn't
play.
even know that was the thing. Yeah, so I
Oh, yeah.
I was
I
in the
told-
airport.
Yeah, you took over it.
You know, I was flying to Japan with my girlfriend, and we went through Seattle airport. It was like September 6th, I think, 7th, whatever date. It's like it's all a blur around all the time. But it's the 7th. It must have been that, or the 6th that day. Anyways, point
Yeah.
is, we flew to Seattle airport, and we were there. We got like you know,
Delay.
delayed to like 8 hours layover, whatever, on the flight and all this. And so we're like, after like the last like delay, we're like, fuck it, we're gonna go to this like restaurant bar thing in Terminal 3 or whatever it was, and and I'm standing there like in the line, and I'm just like, dude, that guy at that table looks like exactly like Hunter Jin, and I'm like, I don't even know, I never met him in person, but we done Canvas Solaris podcast and the all that shit. And anyways, it was so weird. And I'm just standing there, then he like sees me, I'm wearing a Cynic hat, and he like sees me, and I'm just like, and he like comes up, he's like, dude, are you wearing a Cynic hat? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, dude, are you Hunter? And he's like, are you Casey? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we're in
God.
so
In
we
a
just
random
and then
airport.
then we got like our table was like right next to theirs and shit. And I like walk up and I'm like, oh, you guys are in Agala, or like I was like meeting the whole band like at their table and shit. Like it was so funny. And
dude, what was even funny to add to that was both. I keep in touch with both of you guys. Like I talk to Hunter probably once a week, once every 2 weeks or whatever. We check in with each other, and it was so funny because I'm at work and I got one ear in, and Siri tells me who's texting me or whatever.
Seriously,
you know,
you are getting.
And it was a text message at the exact same time. It was
from both you guys.
From both of you, like,
oh yeah, it's like I'm like Anthony. I just then,
who won? Who got in first? Who got
in? Hunter.
Casey did. So Casey got first. Casey got first text.
I don't know who got in first, but it was the exact same time where I was just like, whoa, dude, this is crazy. And both of you guys, it made me feel like I was almost there with you guys, like virtually, because you guys hit me up at the same time. And, you know, I was just like, oh, my bros just met out of organically, you know, synchronistically. Like if you didn't have that delay, that wouldn't have happened.
And I got what like one of the people from the restaurant at the airport like to take a picture of us, like, and I'm like standing in front of the table with all of Agaloth, and I'm like, hey, and it's like,
hey, Joel, can you pull up that Insta post again and just scroll like 2 or 3 letter or pictures?
I was having a semi freak out when you said Hunter. I was looking for the ground sloth, which is usually velcroed to my monitor, and it's not there anymore.
And now it scared you. It's
so I don't know where it is. I still know after this podcast is done. I think it might have. It was velcro to the top of my monitor. So I mean, someone's fucking with me.
I'm gonna talk to your roommate.
Shit. Did I close it?
Yeah.
Dude, how cool is that though? Like to be at the Lumber Dome and listening to Canvas Solaris back in the day.
Oh hell yeah!
Look at that, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. We've been listening to Canvas Solaris for almost 20 years.
Right.
Oh,
and then a situation like that naturally happens finally. Look,
if he ever finds that ground sloth, I will
insane.
take like the actual ground sloth that he had on stage back in the day. Like me and Carrie Gear would sit there and like we had a downloaded video before YouTube and watch this like shredding band. Okay, so, shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do multiple things. Let me get your
I was actually wearing my Radical Research shirt at that Cryptopsy show. Keep metal weird, dude.
I want a Radical Research shirt.
Did Hunter tell you what Jeff is doing that made him not able to attend this?
No, but I would love to know.
He has his first non-metal or non-music industry job in like 30 years. Can you guess what
happened?
What it is?
Jiffy Lube. No, I'm just joking.
IT.
No, dude, he's working for the post office. He's like,
oh wow,
I guess he's always wanted to be a post
slinging
like
packages.
Yeah. So go to the video. Man,
whoa, dude, sick drummer, you were close, dude. Ian fucking said UPS and the fucking.
And that was the right post, but there's a picture of me with the Agalot guys.
Wow.
No, same earlier one, like the most recent, the one you were already on.
This one? Oh, before. Okay. It's the multi-post.
Yeah.
If you can play video, I want to hear the audio.
No. These are going through the bigger post. Damn, this is hard to explain, dog. Might be hard to do it as a computer.
You take sick pics though, dude. I always want to watch your socials because you give me a little insight of outside of the shows as well.
Tell my mouse where to stop.
There. No. So this is scrolling through the post, but within the one post I want to look at.
Oh, click there.
Where it's multiple
arrow. Oh, scroll through
this
the post.
arrow.
I know. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, there.
Click that post.
Click that. And now,
down here. Shit.
This arrow right here. This.
Oh, right here.
Can you
I just liked it.
Yeah, the right. Yeah.
Keep going. There it is. Boom. One more. There's Hunter.
Oh, sick.
There's another Hunter.
Hell
and then one more Hunter, and then one more.
Oh,
there's us.
Dog, bro.
Oh, yeah,
there he is. The Hunter.
Not the greatest.
Literally,
but yeah.
Literally love that dude. It's so crazy how much I love that man and I don't even know him in person. We talk so much, and we relate on so much shit. Like, I wanna hang with that dude.
I can confirm. I think he's a real person. Like I
touched him.
I met him. I mean, it seemed like a
Both
real
you guys
person,
touched him.
but
You guys both touched him.
I touched
right?
him for sure. I mean, we got a couple hugs in there.
Reiterate, I said this
yeah.
before during the episode when Kelly was on, when he was like, you guys broke, but I asked him like, when was the last time you were on stage? And he was like 15 years ago or something.
Damn.
And he's like back on stage playing Europe. And I was like, what's your favorite part of going to Europe? Have you been? He's like, I've never been to Europe before. So
damn.
Literally his first time back, and he's headlining a fucking festival. So, and he's good enough to do that, you know, like he's a great musician.
He's got balls, dude. He's got courage, because I mean, me and him are in a very similar position to take that leap.
And I will say,
not true.
Agaloc's drumming is not technical. He of course just like played everything perfectly, but it was but a fraction of his power. Like I want to see him back doing like crazy canvas shit someday. So
his power, like technicality.
All you listeners that are listening right now, if you don't know about Canvas Solaris, dude, you need to listen to that full motherfucker.
Yep.
So that was the big metal news of the trip, and then the rest of it was like family and friends.
Any crazy traveling situations like where you're
if you go to Germany, don't count on the trains to run on time or be.
Oh, really?
It's like I thought it would be chill to take trains to get everywhere, and like I had like kind of like Google mapped everything, but there were 2 occasions, and they were both Sundays, so I think it's by far worse on the weekends where our trains didn't get us to where we needed to. By the end of the day, we had to like get hotels and shit instead of get there on time. But
really,
so it wasn't so bad, because I ended up having 2 nights, one by myself, one with my wife, where we were like, oh, we're just gonna post in this fucking city and see what the fuck happens. So,
that's kind of cool.
The trains in Japan are like insanely on time.
That's what they were saying in Germany. They're like, no, you're thinking of Japan. That's where the trains run on time.
No, dude, like, and it's like we took this one bullet train where we were like it was like, no, not the right one. Like we're waiting for the train that like comes in. It's like we're like they're like switching the seats around so it goes a different direction, and they're like doing all the shit inside, and we're like, bro, like we got like it's gonna take off in like 3 minutes, like 4 minutes. They wouldn't let us board, and then it was like we had like boom, and then it was like, okay, you got like 4 minutes to board, and then it was like shit took off right at the minute that it was just like we got.
Well, you know that
board, like
that
it was
whole
insane
story. Like it's a terrible thing to bring up, but if let's say if you were like, fuck life, I want to go kill myself and jump in front of a train, they'll find your family because you fucked up their like perfect timing, that you fucked it up. And they'll charge your family like a big fine if you decide to be like, I'm gonna jump in front of a train, fuck life, blah blah. They're like, fuck you, family, you fucking made the train late, dude. I swear to God,
that's crazy.
That's how gnarly but with time and stuff. Another cool thing about the train subway system in Japan is that they rerouted everything by using fungus. And have you heard about this, Joseph? Where they had like a petri dish, and they would use the certain type of fungus. It's in this big mushroom documentary where they put points, and they watched it grow, and then they rerouted their whole system to be like, this is more efficient to go like the way the fungus did, and it's way more efficient. And they like just used like a crawling of fungus,
like Paul Stamets shit.
That sounds a little like cringy. I don't know.
Oh, I'll send you guys the fucking article after.
No, I remember reading about that.
I know nature's dumb, but I mean, besides nature being dumb,
super dumb, dude.
Nature's like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But they used like
imagine being like, oh, dude, your husband committed suicide. You also
back on that. It was a quick little thing I went on, dude.
Fungus is growing towards
it was like
your mom's
35
house,
seconds it took you.
Why is getting all dark? Everything was great. It was no darkness. You guys
don't.
But I mean, it's true. But you're also
true.
complaining about how fucking efficient they are, and so.
Dude,
Hunter, just letting you know,
Hunter
they're
is
so
fucking
efficient
sick,
that they will find you.
Like Anthony's like Hunter Gin,
No, I think it's pronounced Gin, by the way. I don't know if it really is.
all I'm saying though is that Europe is awesome, and so is Asia. Like Japan was, dude. I highly recommend going there if you ever get a chance.
Yeah,
It was
what's the
so
plus
good.
sides of like what were you not expecting what you loved about Japan?
The plus sides were like everything.
That's a cool answer.
The negative, I don't even know, man. Honestly, like
Like what were you like
the
surprised
only
to, like
negative, the only negative is that I felt like it's just like they people say, oh, they speak English. Not really. Like some people speak English, but like if you knew Japanese, you'd do a lot better.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
But I'm just
Alright,
saying, like, but certain countries, like in Europe,
you
like
can get away with it.
you don't need to speak any.
With
yeah.
with
yeah.
the traveling and vacation, it's
How was
always
the
a
sushi?
big
How was the
thing.
sushi?
Dude.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
insane.
literally about to say, dude, what was your best and worst meal? Both of you.
Were they
guys.
avocado? Was there avocado
was
in the
no
sushi?
Best and worst meal. I want to know from
Dude,
both you guys' trip.
I mean, dude. All right, so I don't know. I
Go
don't know
for
what my
it.
best meal was. I mean, there were so many good ones, but I guess trying sushi for the first time was probably my best in Osaka.
Well, not for the
And,
first time in Japan.
Yeah, how much
Well,
different
that's
was
what I'm
it from
saying.
like
That's
going
what I'm-
to
Well, yeah,
obviously,
but when you say for the first time, people might be listening and be like, "Wait,
Nobody
what's
thinks
the
Japan.
Japan?"
what's the
Yeah.
big difference from going to the place in Daly City versus going to Japan?
Oh, well, dude, yeah. So the point is,
Spiral, bro. Shout out.
it's like everything's like there's a lot more like smaller places that like people will stand outside. Like there's only a few, like so many seats. Like say there's like 5 to 20 seats inside, and it's like there might be a line outside, there might not. I think if there's a line outside, it's usually like a good sign, you know.
Yeah.
But you like kind of wait for like not that long, dude, like 30 minutes or something like that, you know.
So how do you order if you like you said that
So
you
there's
know the English better?
yeah, like usually they have like English menus, or like, you know, like
Okay.
let's say like
They're all hamburger roll.
I mean, not
Big
usually,
Mac
but
roll.
like some do, some don't. But like you can choose one. You can also use that like the Google app and like put like your camera on it, and it will translate it to English. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
there's
I
like
was doing
things
some of
like
that.
the picture and shit like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
The
yeah,
hamburger roll's a real thing, dude. I'm guarantee you find some place in the
Well, no,
United
there's a
States
place
that'll
in
be-
Sacramento that had
I
a
didn't see
burrito.
that.
It was a burrito roll. It was a
Yeah.
burrito that was a
Oh, like a
big
sushi
roll.
roll,
It was a
sushi
burrito.
That's what, or
The roll
sushi-
Rito.
Yeah.
One thing I
Roll
noticed that was
Rito.
interesting, the place we went to was like they basically had like nigiri and cut rolls, and like it
That's
was,
how I love
and
it.
the
dude,
tuna
right
and
there.
mayonnaise cut rolls, like you think of a spicy tuna that was a cooked tuna, not like raw, like a spicy tuna with
Oh,
like
interesting.
sriracha or like or whatever, you know.
I'm a sashimi
but-
guy.
But I was like interested. Yeah, I was like the couple places I went to, like it wasn't like, I'm sure they have sashimi out there, but it just was like nigiri
door
was
dashing
like
right
way
now.
more like
Is wasabi and ginger the same kind of thing you get or not?
yeah. But it was interesting. Like at the place I went to, I was like, they asked for like, do you want wasabi? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I didn't realize they just put it on the rolls, like it was like or on the nigiri.
It's already put there. Yeah.
Yeah, and
and-
so I was kind of like, oh, where's the was? And they brought me more, and it was like really super fresh, like
Yes.
like
I
spicy.
feel like I'm the
and shit.
only person that hates wasabi. Like I don't
hate
like
Well, it's
you.
because
horseradish.
you're
Just
insane.
shaking.
Because
Well, I don't like horseradish. I don't like eating Vicks Vapor Rub on my food. I'm
It
just not a
ain't
big fan.
Vicks
What are you
Vapor
talking
Rub. What the fuck are you
Come on,
talking
Do you guys
about?
ever have you guys ever used it? You guys ever had a sore throat when you were a kid?
Yeah, dude, I
You guys ever
snort
used-
it, dude, when I'm sick.
you're insane.
Not Robitussin, brother.
Brother.
Yeah,
No, but I feel like that's why I hate it. That's why as a kid, my mom would be like, "Try sushi," and she would douse it in fucking
Yeah.
horseradish, and I'd be like, "Well, it's not wasabi, by the way. It's fake wasabi. Wasabi's like $100 for this much.
yeah.
Like real wasabi. You never tried wasabi, bro? It's like it's
Yeah.
literally like $1,000 for this much.
I like
Like
that.
Well,
wasabi.
Like that. Wow.
That's what I was gonna ask is if
Yeah,
they
so
had the real
just-
wasabi for Casey in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like the good shit. Yeah, it was great and stuff. And so, anyways, to sum it up, like all the food was awesome. Everything was awesome. Like people were amazing. Like it was a beautiful, amazing country. Like you got like if you want to go see nature, they got the nature. If you want to go see city tech stuff, they got all that. Like everything's great. People are super nice. The only thing I'd recommend is like, yeah, like
Wipes.
it would be good to no, not do the toilets surpass us.
I mean, just like for food, like
No,
your
no,
body's not used to.
no, not really. Honestly,
countries
my
where you go there and
body
you're like,
was like,
"Oh, shit."
yeah, Not
You know?
Japan, dude. My body was
Okay,
like,
okay.
oh, it's way better than
Clean.
American food. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
Nice,
I was like, I had
dude.
no issues. Yeah, the only thing I would say is it's just like to expect that they know English. Well, there's two
Yeah.
things. There's two things I would say about Japan that you should know if you're traveling out there. Is one, there's no trash cans anywhere. So like, I mean, there are some, but like very few.
We're basically the trash cans there.
Yeah. So like, bring your trash, find a trash can, like in like a store or like so there's like 7-Eleven, Lawson's, and Family Mart and like places like that are like, and then there's other ones with Japanese names, but like those are the they're like 7-Elevens, and they have like great food, like great. It's like super rad, but they have no trash cans. And then the other thing is, I was gonna say, they don't speak. They speak English, but not like you think. Like they don't really speak English. Like those people. Yeah,
I wouldn't think they would speak English at all.
Yeah, I mean, like for pretty much like most people don't really like a little bit, you know. So
it's like this is the time we've been up in we were in Canada above Montreal, and we were like trying to order sandwiches, and they were just like, I don't know, dude. They were just like,
and then, like, I don't, yeah, they're like,
like, we'll take your American dollars because they're worth more. They're like, fuck yeah,
right.
I mean, I experienced that in Germany too, like in Berlin and stuff.
You have to point at things. You're like, can I get the
all
not one but two, and you have to like, they're like, I don't know what 1 or 2 means. You have to be like, not 1 or 2, but you have to like this one or that one. That's fine. I'll take all the stuff off. That
Joseph, tell us about your experience.
Yeah, I want to know about, because you guys are in totally different cultures. I want to know what if it was comparable.
Yeah, so I had, after the vest, I kind of did like a family pilgrimage thing, and so we visited
Sweden.
we went to Sweden, but
so sick.
by way of Berlin and the way there and back. And so we
visited.
Went to
Sweden from Berlin?
We went to Berlin, and then we went to this small town on the Baltic called Greifswald, where my friend has his family out there, and he's doing a postdoc at the university there.
Nice.
And then we went to Sweden by ferry and stayed in Sweden for like 2 full days plus 2 travel days. And then we got back to Germany and then went to this small town called Rheinsberg, where there's like it's like a lake town with like a castle, and my wife did a academic retreat there. And then we went to Berlin and headed back. So it was like very busy. I planned this shit out to a T, like months in advance. I had the whole idea, and then I like got all the like details locked in as we were preparing. And I'm very good at this shit. I'm like, I want to be a travel agent, basically. Like I'm stoked on it. So we didn't stay anywhere longer than 3 nights. It was like mostly 1 or 2 nights everywhere. And then highlights food wise, we visited my grandmother and had her homemade Swedish meatballs with mashed potatoes and the fucking jam. Nice. And it was like, dude, she's 89, and it was just as I remembered it from being a kid, even better. So that was the best meal by far. And then, we had some pretty, like the food at the resort wasn't that great. The food at the fest, there was enough like worst. If you want to pick worst meal, I could get into it. But, like for me, it wasn't like food wasn't like the highlight of the traveling. It wasn't all about the food for me. It was more about the people we saw and what we did. But
fuck yeah.
Let me think. Yeah, man, it was fucking great. I wanted to check on my cousins in Sweden if they're like listening to like Swedish metal or any kind of metal or music at all. And they're like, like we like Sabaton. And I was like,
damn.
I was like, you got to listen to like Meshuggah. Have you heard of Meshuggah? No. Have you heard of Opeth? No. Have you heard of
what the fuck?
In Flames, Amon Amarth, like all the bands I thought were big. They hadn't heard of any of them, but they know Sabaton.
Trip.
And then I'm like,
the Bismarck. Yeah.
I'm like, is Sabaton? I felt like they were older, but I looked and they're actually like newer than all these bands. They're like 10, 20 years newer than all the bands I just mentioned. I'm like, fuck, I'm old, man. Like,
they sound old as fuck. That feels like a band I missed. It's like a band that
dude, if you're feeling old, dude, you're tethered to the younger generation, dude. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, but the kids are into like Sabaton, which in a way is weird because it's like older style, but they're like doing it fresh somehow, and it's popular. So
Do you think
I
that
don't know.
they like use sabotage, like isn't that the Black Sabbath sabotage or something?
No, it's Sabaton. They're like pirate metal, like European.
I don't
Yeah.
even know, dude.
Bismarck.
But, like
and
they
shit.
use like an old thing
About,
that's like close
this
to
is
like
what-
an
had
old school
students
thing
around
though.
it.
I
was
just
weird.
said you're our
I had-
tether, dude, and Joel's
Dude.
just like, oh, dude, is that a Black
Joseph,
Sabbath
I had-
album, dude?
I had
Isn't it?
students
Isn't it?
that
Am I
were-
wrong?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Sabaton is the band he's talking about, which I
Yeah,
don't
but
know about.
sabotage is the word I said, and then you
Oh,
misheard it.
Sabaton.
Okay.
No, I said sabotage is what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you think they took that album and then like made like a similar logo, and it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is about it.
Just kidding.
No, I think that
No, I'm saying that everyone they took the old school logo of an old school album and were like, you see it, and you're like, oh, I must have missed out on that because it's
Sabotage?
old.
no,
Logo
you can
is
be
like-
like, I like
No.
Beastie Boys and I like
There's-
the song Sabotage.
No,
or,
Sabaton. Sabaton is
Do you know
nothing to do with
Sabaton's
Sabbath.
logo, Casey? What does it look like?
I do.
Talking about-
Are you kidding? How many, dude? I have no idea. I had Mayfair or whatever, the Bismarck and all those songs, dude. I had to play so many Sabaton songs with a student I had. It was like all into it. It was like random. It was like
Yeah,
years ago, dude.
Dude,
Yeah, I know, I've done.
the kids are
dude,
down, man.
I know multiple Sabaton songs because of that. Like,
Yeah.
How's it spelled? I feel like I've seen the
they
logo a
they
million
speak about like
times.
World War II shit and like.
Yeah,
Yeah, old
Yeah.
stuff where you
It's-
feel like you
it's-
missed out on it.
No,
It's
a
for,
little
like, you guys
Like
were
I'm
talking
saying.
about music
Little
for
old.
non-musicians.
about 80
Sabaton is
years ago. Old.
Sabaton.
music for
It's
man's not
80
80
years
years
ago.
old.
Not from
Yeah.
the 80s, but 80s years ago.
Sabaton is for video game kids, not for musicians. It's not.
Sabaton. I need to look it up.
Yeah, but they throw like shows, and like my friend or
But,
my family went and saw a Sabaton show, and
Yeah, it's the
Fucking
logo I'm thinking of.
Loon-
It's like
Lunars.
if there was a metal like
It's such a-
marching band. If there was a
an
metal
80s
marching
logo.
band,
They
the
have an
guy
80s
in the,
logo.
in the front would throw
I
up
mean,
a
it was
Sabaton.
nothing that
dude.
we would like. It wouldn't come into
Nice.
our radar. Like, you know,
The logo is like, it looks
But-
like a logo that like you're like, oh yeah, that's one of those older
Yeah.
bands that
Yeah.
never caught on kind of thing. It's like,
but
Yeah,
they're from the same
80s
era
as
as like
fuck.
Dragon Force. Like that's the
Right,
generation
it's
of
Is
power
it?
metal.
It's shred
Oh,
like
totally,
that?
yeah.
Oh shit.
no, they
Yeah.
got like solos. Oh yeah, it's power metal. It's like European war-based power metal. Like the lyrics are
What was the Dragon
about
Force
very
album that we
specific
loved?
lyrics
Joel?
about like
Sonic
I clicked
Firestorm.
their logo and it just took me to
Oh,
a
that
war
one I
site,
did
dude.
love too.
Dude,
It
look,
literally took me to a war. Oh no, it's their site.
No, it was the Rampage one. What was the Rampage one?
Oh,
The-
Inhuman Rampage.
yeah, dude, that was the soundtrack to Odious Mortem on Bloodletting.
This is what I clicked on and
if
this came
Joel
up,
or
dude.
me
This-
were driving.
Oh, this is like a bunch of
Yeah.
old. This is Sabaton's website.
And
Yep.
just think of
I'm like-
Dude,
It's a band trying to be old, but they're younger. See,
It's
like
just-
a,
They're like
an
if
old young band.
Civilization, the game, was a band, like where you just conquer the fucking world or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I have a project now. I have to like get my Swedish cousins into actual good music.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that'll
you
be
gotta-
hard, but
pulling the
like into the
Swedes.
music of their country.
yeah,
Gotta
literally.
get some Swedes involved.
Well, so Sabaton is also Swedish, so I'm like, but not like that,
Oh,
you know.
of course.
like-
According to Joel, the Swedes were involved in Cryptic too.
Oh, on that fucking Black Hat interview.
what are you guys
Yeah.
talking about?
Black Hat
uh,
interview. I called Casey and Dan were like, dude, what's going on? They're like, dude, we're fucking like everyone's just like couldn't. I was like wasted. And I was like, I guess we gotta go. They're like the metal injection guys ushering. They're
Yeah.
like, you guys come over here. They're like, we don't want to do it. Like you and Dan were both like, oh sick, dude. And then fucking Ivan was just like black, like completely blacked
we
out.
were all blacked out, bro.
I don't remember. I remember being pulled in and having to do an
Yeah, we
interview. I
said
don't remember. what we
no.
said.
I don't remember being in that room yet. Then somebody showed me footage of it.
What did you say? Like Swedish people played all?
I don't know. I talked about Frank Zappa or something. I guess.
No, I said, well, whatever, dude. Like Swedish people played all the music. We just take all the credit, dude. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, we just hired a bunch of Swedish people. Fucking they play.
And then
See,
it
even
switches
back
to
then, I
me
knew.
with my headphones, or not my headphones, my glasses on the back of my head like a fucking Cali
Dude,
dork.
Sabaton played all the music, and we just
Yeah.
fucking.
All the Sabaton guys played that explosion. That's all it was. It's Swedish.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So shout out Dennis. I did think about trying to meet up with him. He lives
Oh,
like
yeah.
3 hours drive
Oh,
from
who's Dennis?
our
Oh,
area.
that's gnarly.
Who's
The
Dennis?
Menace, dude. You ever
Yeah.
fucking watch cartoons? Okay.
I love
Um,
Dennis, dude. But I'd love to get a fucking part. Well, it would be a part 3.
Well, okay, so it was
Sorry,
going to
Yeah,
be.
I didn't
we'll
mean to
work on
cut
that.
you off.
I'll just spoil it right now. There's going to be a Retromorphosis episode. coming up.
Yes.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know you sent me some final tracks. I'm like, I want to listen to it when it's done.
Oh, it's almost done. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
I heard the preliminary your drum tracks. I was like, oh my god,
Well, the
this
drums
is
are
gonna
done.
be amazing.
Yeah,
sick.
but the Dennis is doing the vocals.
Every time I
don't
hear
know if it's
you
finished yet, but
you send something to me, and I would just like suck Casey's dick. Like, dude, you're the sickest person I've ever met.
Nah,
I would,
what?
like,
What is it?
no, I would send like messages back, like, you're the best drummer. I was just like, because I was so impressed and so stoked on like what I
Nothing to
heard,
do with me.
and it was like literally like you playing to a fucking Guitar Pro, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is
How
so
cool
sick.
is it to be in a band with a
dude.
guy that you're continuously impressed?
Well, I love that
by?
this podcast kind of spawned of, we got possessions from the
stop it.
spawn of that of
Yeah.
us like getting together
No.
and being dumb and talking together. It's like,
And let's
that-
just toot our own horn a little bit more, guys. It was
Oh,
actually
come
I want to toot Casey's horn.
And no, I want to toot
Anthony.
us and Casey the most because I just want to say that wouldn't have happened if we didn't bro down for those 3-4 hours. that we had
100%,
done.
of course.
Yeah.
The day after, Dennis
And-
sent us a awesome, heartfelt message that really made us feel like, oh shit, we're making an impact with the people that we're talking to a little bit. you
Do me
know?
a favor and watch our old episodes and how much more like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed we are versus now.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, fuck
I
yeah.
did. I used to drink energy drinks before this, and people thought I was doing coke.
You were like this. You were like Anthony's like this. Anthony's like old
I
episodes.
used to
he's like-
drink
he's like-
bangs.
he's like,
I used to
yeah,
drink
dude,
bangs before these
totally.
things,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
totally. And now he's just all like, yeah, dude, fucking, like
I
remember that
fucking
when
well,
I
the
did
energy
that.
drinks fucked me up, dude. So I had to stop. But it literally was bangs.
No, we were all
dude.
terrified getting into this like like speaking forum, and like we have to all look at each other and be like, oh,
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I kind of feel like I wish I was, dude.
but it's such
I don't
a
think-
it's such a weekly thing now that we're just like, what's up?
I don't
dude?"
think
Kelly
any-
Shaefer. I went to go pee and I was like, oh, we're talking to Kelly Shaefer. Like, it's a rad day. But I was like, before I'd be like, oh. In the first Kelly Shaefer episode, I was like fucking having a panic attack. I was like,
yeah.
That's like
80
Yeah.
some 80
it's
plus
just
episodes.
humans. We're
ago.
humans. We
I
get
don't-
used to something. It's just like,
I don't think any member of this pod or of the host of this podcast has been on coke doing the episode, but
Never.
not
Never.
necessarily saying that about the guests. But
should
yeah,
try
I don't
it.
think any
Yeah, maybe there might be a guest.
We should do a
or
Coke
2 or
episode.
5 in there.
Oh,
Just
God,
all do-
yeah, I'm
we all do a
Dude, if
line
we
at
did
a time.
Coke episode,
I
dude.
hate that shit.
I know,
Well,
yeah.
We just
It would
talk
end up being
over
like
each other the
7
whole time,
hours
just
long.
like this.
Yeah, no.
All right. So
We
wait,
just go to
Joe,
like
it
6
would
in the
be-
morning.
The last 4 hours of me and Joel just being like, nah, dude,
Big
we can't
no.
stop, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the best 7 Dust album, dude? What are you talking about?
7-hour podcast. Yeah.
so I didn't get to hang out with Dennis, even though he was not that far. I mean, definitely the closest I've ever been to him. But I did get to hang out with Lele in Germany. in Berlin.
Nice.
So sick.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I went into his house. I played his guitar.
Oh,
And
really? What did you
Fucking,
do?
I jerked him off a little.
What's the first riff you played on his guitar?
Be honest.
Fucking Womb Full of Scabs by Disgorge, obviously.
Nice. Oh yeah.
And then we went out and we met this other drummer named Alex Simpson and his partner Maricela, who's also Lily's ex, in fact. And we were like just a tight little 4. Like they hang out all the time, the 3 of them, and then it was just me. And then Lily is just a fucking super rad guy. I just love that guy so much. He's such an inspiration and a hero, but he's also like just a chill hang.
Good human.
And he gave me a
Another part
sweatshirt.
too I'd love.
He's like, this is our leftover Defeated Sanity merch. Do you want a hoodie? And I'm like, of course. Can I give you something? I literally tried to offer him the shirt off my back. I'm like, I'm wearing a Last Lucy, and my wife was just like, just take the hoodie. And then I like ended up just buying Lily some like sodas to make up for, to pay.
Hell
He's
yeah.
well, I'm trying to get rid of cloth, not gain cloth.
He's like, just don't tell Jacob. I'm like, fuck, I just blew it. didn't I? But yeah, dude,
That's awesome,
fucking
man.
rad time, and shout out Lele. And then he's actually been he's been dealing with some stuff. So shout out Lele. Hopefully your condition improves in time for you to record the new Defeated Sanity record.
Yeah, dude. Most
Yeah, hell yeah.
definitely, dude. I mean,
sure.
that's a guy that we want to see
Create
continue,
stuff.
obviously. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
whenever, especially with the splash he's made, I don't know a drummer anywhere near him in
So
all that I've watched and listened.
So I have this list of the best like guitarists / drummers. It's Casey's on there, and then Lille and Naveen and Hannes Grossman. And the fact that it's like 2 guys from California and 2 guys from Germany. I like that sort of like
What a
symmetry right
great
there.
time to be alive, guys.
Casey's
Yeah.
the sickest, dude. Sorry.
I
God
mean,
damn it.
I mean,
I'm just gonna say.
no, but it's true. It is.
No, my dad wasn't into death metal at all, and just like him coming to see an Odious show or Decrepit show, I forget what it was, but he was in his best friend's a fucking drummer that plays with like does King's X, Symphony X stuff, and he's an old man, like shreds drumming, and he was just all like, "The fuck is that guy?" He was just like, he watched Casey, he's like, "What the fuck is that guy doing? That guy is insane! Like, what the." It's like a next level, whatever. Like, Casey doesn't like it, but whatever.
I know Casey doesn't like it, and
damn it.
Casey's actually trained us to not do this as much. But
But
actually,
it makes me want to do it after a couple.
Please
drinks.
stop.
since
Please
we
stop immediately.
But since we started doing the show, we end up getting to these points where we end up getting these platforms where we can praise our homie. And
It's not even about praising a homie, though. It's what pisses me off is I can't say this, but this is my actual opinion.
yeah, no. Oh,
But
No,
Casey
all I have
doesn't
to
like
say
compliments.
is there's
But
a
he's
new-
one of my favorite drummers of all time.
If you're excited, then there's a new Odious album
Nice.
out.
Yep.
I know.
We're
Shit,
working on it.
I know.
I know you guys.
And I
were
plugged it hard on Box and Hops
Yes,
too, dude.
yes.
So
So
Nice deflection.
we'll see when it comes out, but hopefully next year. And
yes,
I'm very excited and proud of my brothers
I'm very-
in that album, and it's going to be. It might be the favorite thing I've ever put out. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
So far,
That's why I'm so excited about it.
You, everybody who has contributed to it so far, Alex, Carrie, and Casey, dude, I literally am so blown away by you guys on this record, dude, and I don't want to come up short. I want to be right there with you guys, and the ideas that we've fleshed out for this album, it's in my head every day. I'm adding to it in in my head every day, and now I'm at a point where I can't half-ass this shit. I gotta make this story what it is, and I promise you guys that is always going to be in my head when I finally make my performance, because
Anthony, you always deliver a great performance, man. Like,
dude, Casey,
great.
thank you, dude.
You're a performer, dude.
Yes.
So are you guys, dude, and I'm so that's why I'm working with you guys.
Actually, I'm with Casey right this. I don't
this,
like talking about all like.
Casey's
just all,
100%. I never have had any second thoughts about Casey.
Well, I'm so glad that Casey's like the best musician in the group, because I would hate if people were like, dude, Joel, you're so. I'd be like, fuck off, dude. I don't want to hear that.
It's not about any of that stuff. Like, we can rub each other's backs all we want and give each other shoulder rubs and all that.
G-rated version.
Point is, let's just get it done, and let's just put out the material. And it's gonna be great. And like, I'm excited. And also the Retromorphosis shit, like it basically Dennis is almost done with the vocals as far as I know.
So many cool ideas.
There's some insane shit I've heard, and Christian solos are like
Dude,
insane.
that band
like,
is you're gonna not even
and
you're gonna
Erlen's
be
bass and all that.
This
Dude,
is the proper.
I'm very excited about these new things coming out, and
it's like the best band ever coming out.
The new
soon.
Odia stuff, the whole situation. I'm not gonna how can I say this? How it's going to be released will be very announced. We can't
Mhm.
yet
Very
until it's
Very
all.
announced.
It'll be
I
so
can't
announced.
wait until it's
So
like all
announced.
done. I guess we can't announce like how it's going to be released, but we have like everything set up.
Lots of
There's
family
a
involved.
new Odious Mortem album coming out, and there's a new Retromorphosis album coming out. And yes,
We're basically
That's all I
representing
gotta say.
so much UL on those releases right there, dude.
Whoa, you will.
I just said
Gotta wait.
representing. I just said representing. I mean, they were all previous.
You'll wait until the representation gets released, dude.
yeah.
And I'm gonna toot my own horn because I like to
Yes,
throw my little
just
hat.
Yeah,
Toot it. Shoot away.
last-
Blow that horn at fucking
Yeah.
serious.
Last
Oh,
Lucy are
I know I did it
we're-
first. Try to let
Last
them shoot first.
Lucy are submitting. Well, we recorded and got the masters a while ago. We were submitting like the layout and all that shit to the label. It should be out next year. It's called God Form. And we also are now on the Continental touring roster. So expect to see Last Lucy next year touring a little more. And yeah, should be sick. So that's what's going on with that band. And but no, like honestly, the new Odious, the new Retro, I've been able to hear it. Like it's fucking it's amazing. Very
Thanks,
psyched.
brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I have full confidence in you, Anthony. Just
I know. I know. I just need to have full confidence in myself. I'm fleshing out the story completely. This is I've gotten so far into this story that I have to finish it. So, yeah, that's very important to me. Is
take me
the
all the
story.
way into your subconscious, bro.
It's the true sequel to Cryptic, and Casey and I laid out a thing that made my brain continuously add to it. So I'm very happy with all the cool shit that's come up in this writing process, and there's some really cool ideas that I feel are very distinct in the Odious realm. They tie right back to us, and I just think it's cool. It's not I don't necessarily think it's an original idea, but it is something to take from Cryptic and expand on. That's if anybody's into Cryptic, that album, it gets to a nothingness. Well, what happens after that nothingness?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
more like
Yeah.
Cryptic. Okay, moving on.
I know you're when I was on my second to last sentence, I heard a deep breath and I was like, yep, I need to stop talking about this one now.
For sure. All right, dudes, you've gone
You
3 hours.
fuckers,
Oh, yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Stop
yeah.
muting me. You already
It's
muted
me.
me once.
I didn't mute
me.
you.
It's me.
No, if you
Yeah,
just
I
tap
do-
you, if you tap
I
mute
already
on
saw- I
Anthony,
saw-
he gets so
I'm
pissed.
just
I
fucking-
haven't
I
done
do
it for a
get
while
pissed because now I saw it last time and I was like, what? Oh, I have
Anthony,
no idea now.
I'm just teasing you. It's me.
watch. I got the word "and."
I
You missed the
know,
word
I know,
"and,"
makes
and he's
You
you
like,
guys
mad.
do it.
I know it
do
makes you
everything
mad.
else for
It's
the
all
rest
right.
of
I'm just
We should
being
do it
Yeah,
more. It's
because
kinda
nobody
funny.
else gets muted except for the
I'm
host.
being
I got muted.
ironic,
I got
dude.
earlier.
All right. It's all right. It's all right. All right.
All right.
Joseph, more Joseph. Yeah.
That's
No,
all.
let's wrap it up.
We're wrapped up. Let's
We're at
let's
the 3 hour.
I'll
Yes,
hang
it's
out with
time to
you
take out the
soon,
trash.
you even sooner, and Casey. We got to hang last
Yes,
month.
you're
That was
close to
cool.
me, dude. You're an hour away from me now. It's very
I did
That's a
Exciting.
bullshit.
Yep.
Fucking Pacifica's an hour and 40 minutes away from us. Let's stop
I got
doing
like
the hour
food
thing.
poisoning from
dude.
Burger King that night. That was terrible,
Oh
Joseph.
fuck! Oh yeah, we should.
Yeah. I was
Damn.
like, "What's up,
Order.
man?" And I was like, my stomach. I was like,
What'd you
I
order?
remember that. I knew that
Nah,
you
chicken
were having a
sandwich,
rough
no
time. Yeah.
It was just not the way to go.
I always get food poisoning from fast food when I'm like going in between Santa Cruz and Sacramento. I'm like, I'm gonna stop
Yeah.
in Lodi and get a fucking
Uh,
like something random, like in a random offshoot place.
Taco
I'm like,
Bell is like the only option, basically.
Taco Bell's got me food poisoning
Or-
twice.
Really?
So, but yeah, like
really?
bad one. I've got to go to the hospital because
Well,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taco
food
Bell?
poisoning aside, it was great that Casey filmed
Diarrhea though.
the
The diarrhea. I'm just kidding.
What'd you order,
Joel,
dude?
Joel,
What'd you
Joel,
order to
Joel.
get food
I'm gonna mute
poisoning?
myself. Let's end this.
I'm gonna meet myself, dude.
Yeah.
Just thank you for filming the Dreamers set. Of course, it was instrumental. Our vocalists
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
make it, but fucking yeah, Joel. I'm just gonna pretend I'm talking what Joel's saying. Piss. I like to piss. I'm a piss drinker and piss enjoyer in general.
Piss
That's-
enjoyer.
No, dude,
Was
that
that
dreamer
cool?
set was
You did.
piss as fuck, dude.
We're working on the record. It's
Super
coming.
piss.
Just tell Beatty to fucking stop playing video games and be.
Well, maybe we might be able to tell him next week.
Just kidding. He's like
we
the
got
hardest working guy I
a
know. But
we got a
Oh, yeah.
big
Oh yeah,
fun episode that Casey's been putting together, dude.
yeah. So next week is our 3-year anniversary, episode 150. 50
Dude, what
year.
the fuck are we doing
And-
here, guys? 150 episodes?
Yeah, we're very excited about next week. Though we have a lot of people that are coming on. It's going to be a smorgasbord of good times. We have some people that are surprises for Joel. Who's
For
muted.
me, too.
Yeah.
I want him to be a surprise.
We got some surprise homies that you guys will just be like, "What?"
Yes, dude. Represent.
People have been trying to get
dude.
on the pod for like a long time. I don't give it away. Anyways, surprises that might happen. So
3 years next week, guys.
yeah,
I brought some shirts up here, so if you want to buy a shirt, I will still order or
Yes.
I will still ship it to you. Got my printer right here, so I can print my fucking shipment labels.
Maybe we'll do a little sale for the 3-year anniversary. You buy it during the live.
no,
I'll pack a little cocaine in the package.
He's like, no.
Because
Yeah,
it's the
we'll
Coke
pack a little
episode
Coke in there.
that we alluded to.
just kidding. No,
Just kidding. We're not doing anything illegal ever.
But
yeah.
3%
Next week,
off. Hell yeah.
starting at 8 p.m. next Thursday,
3% off, dude.
October 5th, extravaganza episode. It's
Shirts are
all-
gonna be $18.86 instead of
Yes.
$20.
Yeah, I've been leaving this as a surprise. I just want to be hit with everybody that we're gonna see, and I just want to hang.
Yeah.
And I want to hang
You
with
got
you guys as
so many people
listeners,
like it
too.
announce that I kind of want to just like leave it.
Yeah, no, dude.
Yes,
We don't have new artwork like we did last year. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. We'll put something funny up there.
Not yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
what up?
Still a week. Joe, why are you on mute? Just click the button, dude.
He's acting like he's on mute. He's not really on
No, he
mute.
is on mute. He is really on mute. I can
This is
see
the most
it.
fun I've ever had. I just get to keep like yelling
Yeah,
over you
there
guys.
you
And I'm
go.
muted. You guys can't hear me.
He's literally been talking shit about me
And,
the whole time. I'm
No, I
there. He's
haven't.
like-
Read my lips. If you're fucking no, you're not deaf enough as
Yeah.
me. If you're deaf, you could read my lips. I'm just talking about piss the whole time.
Yeah.
He's just like you interjected way too many times with Kelly tonight.
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and I just like the mute thing. It's fun. It's
No,
therapy. It's
it's
my new
fine.
therapy, dude. Yeah, and it's one less person, so I'm just get to have
I
be
love
my own
that. I
commentary
love
for
that
fun.
Kelly thought your shirt was legit.
He was all, dude.
I know he's all like smash there. He's like, what are you?
So when I first showed up there, when I first showed up in the world pre-podcasting, he's like, dude, this guy got a Smash shirt on.
I know he's all like, okay.
That's his favorite reason
the
of
whole
wearing it.
episode, he's just kind of looking. That's like the top layer. He's kind of just like these guys are like,
That's sick.
I'm all talking about like gnarly bands. He's like, dude, he's got a
Like,
Smash
yeah.
shirt on, so I can't agree with him fully on things he's saying.
Whoa.
By the way, rest in peace, singer of Smash Mouth, who
Yeah,
I
dude.
don't even
All
know
right,
the
name
man.
of
I know we're giggling at it. That definitely was like,
sure.
whoa, dude, that's crazy.
Did you watch his last show?
Yeah.
I mean, not to be
Yeah,
watched the
I
last
know.
one where he got kicked.
But now that you
All right.
said that, I don't.
Yeah.
We'll go watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
go watch.
somebody.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch.
All right, dude. Totally. For sure.